Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff, and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide. Time zones are still a thing. And god damn it, I got us from the intro to all on the stage in one fell swoop. It's fucking amazing. Even though StreamYard is indeed still our bipolar girlfriend that never knows how it wants you to fucking work. Anyway, that being said, somebody give us a wee auto check in the chat. I'll start putting your name, your comment up on the screen to recognize everybody, but I don't go through the comments all the time whenever I get guests in because I need to do that first. And with that, I'd like to introduce my guest for this evening. Rich, RPW Media. What about you, chum?
What's up? What's up, guys? Thanks, everybody, for being here. It's going to be a fun night.
It is. It is. It's going to be a fun, interesting, and hopefully informative evening. I'm really looking forward to it, and thanks very much for coming along, Rich. And we'll get on to we'll get on to why you're here and everything else about that in a moment. But first, Mr. Pakka, what about you, chum?
Hello, how are you all?
All good. Right. As you all may have heard, there has been a little bit of a kerfuffle in Belfast this week. There was a bit of house cleaning done. The world seems to have gone a little bit overboard with it. But hopefully what I hope to do this evening is put it, along with my guest, is put this into its proper perspective for Northern Ireland and see how everybody feels about what has happened then. But before I do that, as always, I've got a couple of shout outs today. The first one would be Robin, Courage is a Cure, Australian girl who was on the end of the month stream last week. Really good on coverage with all forms of government overreach. And she's on multiple platforms. The other one would be my guest tonight, Rich, RPW Media. Most of you pretty much all you know. But I'd like to shout out his show every Friday at 11 o'clock GMT. Rich will tell you what that is in his time zone. He's American and he, as you all know, he does political commentary and he's very fucking good at it.
Thank you.
Yep. And the other show I get, hold on. See, whenever I said that I don't really give everybody a hello in the chat, the wonderful, super amazing, sexy Emma G is an exception, my better half, and hope you have a good evening, and thank you very much for today, because Emma and I were out and about today. We're going to see some of Emma's filming later, because we were on the Newton Ards Road, and we videoed a little bit of the aftermath. That'll be coming up in a bit of a while. Yep. Yes, the other show, the amazing Dave Waffle House, home of the legendary Friday Night Duck Race, the best duck race on the internet. There are many ways for to get involved in the duck race, you can leave a comment under any stream. That'll get you free ducks. You can say be the first to say 420 at the appropriate time. You can name songs, films, whatever it is that he's randomly talking about, and that may indeed get you free ducks. Or you can indeed buy ducks. You can gift ducks to other people. You can be gifted ducks by people. It's a real free-for-all. Get yourself in there. It's fucking quackers, and you too could possibly win a nice tin of liquid ass.
I love that.
Yeah, it's madder than a box of frogs, but it is. It's a really good show, and it's a. Oh yeah, and you do get birthday ducks. I do not appeal for Cam. Cam get you more of the same. Oh no, I don't appeal for Cam either. Boy, do I. Appealing for Cam is not in my nature, and you will see that as we go through. It's not in any Ulster man's nature to appeal for Cam. We think we've a proper understanding of the biblical verse that the meek shall inherit the earth, and you will, because you get fucking buried in it for being meek. And Emma G says she got a close up of a pack of groin.
He stood up.
Merry Christmas, Emma.
Yep.
I thought you guys say Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. The one thing we don't say is Happy Holidays.
Right? Yeah, I don't say that here either.
Yeah, no.
That's the woke.
Yep. I keep getting told it's called Happy Holidays because lots of people, lots of cultures have got holidays around that time of year. And I'm thinking, well, if they want their holiday recognized, they should probably go to their own fucking country.
You see what Emma said? Oh, that's funny.
Oh fuck! Right, hold on. Colin, thanks for dropping in. I don't recognize your name. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to say hellos. Edmonton, Ice Green, Colonel Louise. That's your kid's sister, isn't it?
Carrie Ann.
Carrie
Ann is her name. Yeah.
Thank you for coming along. Anybody that's new, feel free to subscribe. We do this madness every Saturday night at 10:30 British summertime at the minute. Oh, an Anglo-Saxon brother, welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in. I have a feeling new, and did I see Lofer Sheffield then? I'm thinking you and Lofer Sheffield are going to like this stream tonight. Now, to the meat and bones of the thing. Rich, the amazing maestro, created a song. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're new every week, Emma. Rich, the incredible maestro, did indeed make a song for me, which is going to be used for my outro. And then I made a video for it. The reason why it's called a Serendipity stream is this is all came together at quite the interesting time, because I was going to get Rich on to go through the cultural references that I've put into the video. And they do resonate with what has just recently happened. And they're sort of a contrast to it, or similar, whichever way you want to look at it. We're going to discuss that and go through it. Commanders, and what about you, chum? Right. So, Rich, speak to me. Anything you want to say about the song before we actually unleash it on this public?
Well, I'll talk afterwards to give you the idea of my Irish history through my family, and my sister and my brother can confirm. Yeah, and where I got the ideas. For the song.
Yeah. Well, Emma's petitioning for the be the new intro. I might actually. It's definitely it's probably going to end up played twice on each stream, and once will be early. So there you go, because it's absolutely cracker. Right, I'm going to get us out and put this up on the stream and let you all have your first viewing of it. Stop. Right. Here we go. Make it nice and large. Here we go. This is the new outro. Oh, fuck. What did I do? I pressed the wrong button and the comments all disappeared. It scared the shit out of me. StreamYard is absolutely nuts. You do anything slightly different and it messes with you. Right, here we go. The new song.
In the red dirt, name carved in a stone you can't move. 42 wears the north wind like a tattoo. Green field trapped in a gray sky, salt rain still stuck in his throat. Far from the line on the map, he carries that border like a coat. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless, words like broken glass in the heather. Tongue tastes blood and black tea. He writes the river that cut his town. He writes walls only he can see. Vision of Ulster's flicker over rusted wire and ruin. He plants a flag in this dead valley and calls it home by singing. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42. Is it exile if the land moves with you? Is it freedom if the past still stares straight through? He laughs like a funeral, he prays like a fight, writes Ulster in the sand, lets the wind decide the right. At 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42,
There you go.
Fucking excellent.
Great video, man. I gotta give it to you.
It's well, I had the perfect frame to put it on. Is where I'll say that it's yeah, I had a perfect frame to dress it. How anybody come up with that without living here, I do not know.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I could have not Northern Ireland, not Northern. Yeah. My grandmother and my maternal grandmother, she had come from what she would call Conde Muyo or County Mayo, and it was in Charleston, which is like, I think it was like 169 miles from Belfast. Not that far, right?
Yeah.
But her name was Nancy Doherty, and her sister Catherine, who we called her Aunt Kay growing up. They were born and raised in Charleston, and together they came to the United States about 1918, somewhere around there. And my grandmother met my grandfather, who came over at about the same time. He was from Scotland. Now, my grandfather, he was a Brooks, and he was an engineer in Scotland, believe it or not, the workshop of the world, he would say, and he was from Glasgow. And so as a young man, he worked in, I think they called it River Clyde, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was called. And as he got older, he got into shipbuilding. And the sad thing is, when he came here, the only job he could get, he came to Philadelphia, and they met, they got married, and they bought a house. It was a 19th century Victorian place, and it was in Germantown. Okay. And when he came here, the only job he could get was working in a lumber yard, if you can believe that, right?
Yeah.
but he was the single breadwinner of the house. They had 7 children, right? Mm-hmm. My Aunt Kay lived with them. Now, my Aunt Kay also, she lived with them and had a permanent room there, but she also had another home that she lived in during the week. She was a maid and a nanny to the children of a municipal court judge in Philadelphia, who lived in a Philly area called Mount Airy. And she would live in the home on the judge's property, take care of the house and the kids. And then on the weekends, she would go home and holidays and stuff like that to Seymour Street in Germantown. Do you guys remember the musical Sound of Music?
Yes.
Remember the Von Trapp family?
Yes.
Well, they really existed, and they lived in my mother's neighborhood.
Fuck.
And oh yeah, they were all singers. And my mother told me growing up that they lived on Seymour Street, directly across from a school, and they would see the Von Trapp family walk down the street, and they really did walk with the children in a row going by height. They really did that. Yeah. Now the father was a drunk. I think everybody knew that, but it was kind of cool to see them. And they're like, oh wow, they're in the Disney thing, you know?
Oh, I'll tell you the thing that always sticks out in me with the Sound of Music. Mm-hmm. Until about 5 years ago, whenever I looked into it, I actually thought Edelweiss was their fucking national anthem.
Yeah.
And it was only whenever I found out, hold on, that was written for the film? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it's like,
oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, this is how dangerous it is getting your information from.
Yeah. Well, so I spent a lot of time with my grandmother and my Aunt Kay, because what happened was Germantown was starting to turn bad. And so the family, 6 kids, one died, unfortunately. My brother's namesake passed away when my mother was about to deliver him. And anyway, so we had, all the kids were moved out at that point. They had families of their own. And the neighborhood was turning bad, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so the family pulled their money. They sold their house, pulled their money, and bought them a house in a section of Philly that we lived in, which was Roxborough, which was considered lily white Roxborough. The police district was known as Fantasy Island. The only thing they really had to do was deal with Jimmy from Philly, and also kidding, bro, and traffic tickets. Okay, so we bought them a house there. We moved them in, and it was close to my school. And so both my parents worked. And when we were younger, when we got a little older, they did the latchkey thing. But when we were younger, we had to stop at grandmom's house and spend a little time there with them, hang out with them for a while after school. And plus she gave us sodas and we loved it. Yeah. Right. But they were the two sweetest, nicest women that ever lived. And I'll challenge anybody to, because when I'll be honest with you, when they passed away some years later, it hit me like it was an end of an era, because they were the nicest, sweet. Carrie Ann, am I lying? They were the nicest, sweetest women you ever wanted to meet, and they were very old school. And because of them, and because of some stuff that my mother and father had talked about and told me about Ireland and whatnot, that I really got into reading about it, and I did a lot of way before. I'm talking library time, not not internet time, right? And I got into reading an awful lot about it. And my father, when the IRA up there in the north was in the news over here, he would talk to me about it, and my mother would mention it from time to time. And they were the sweetest. You're right, sis. But and that's where I got. And my father was a music guy. Now, 99% of the time he would play Frank Sinatra because he was a Frank Sinatra freak. Yep. Right. And he had at one point the largest Sinatra record collection in the world. And yet he never met him. He never met him, but he had the largest in the world. Sid Mark, who used to run Friday with Frank and Sunday with Sinatra show on the radio, famously known, he used to borrow records from my father, right? Yeah. But, yeah, he would borrow records because my father, there were like two made. My father had one of them, because he was just a big time collector, but he also loved Irish music. So once in a blue moon, he would play that. And there was Scott music he would play as well. And so they kind of kept us into it. Let's see, grandma. My grandmother, Carrie Ann, wanted me to add. My grandmother was technically blind from cataracts. Right. And I think they did. I think back then they were able to do something for it, but it didn't work for her. But my mother told me that she knew where every single thing in this giant Victorian house was. And you could say, Ma, where's my socks? They're in your left drawer underneath the whatever. She just knew it all. The woman she loved her family and knew everything. See,
she was navigating everything from memory, so she knew exactly where everything was. She couldn't see it.
Oh yeah, she got around the house. Yep. From that way, right? And so and I would get stories from Grandma and Aunt Kay as well. And so it made me when you think about it, my father's talking about the IRA and the trouble that those commies were causing up in the north. And then they were talking about Charleston, right? My grandmother would talk about it all the time. How they did miss it, but they loved America because they became Americans. And so what I did is when I got a little bit older, like in my college years, I just started reading a heck of a lot about Irish culture, and because it's in my blood, Yeah. So love the Irish, and I finally learned that there are truly only two types of people in this world, and it's those who are Irish and those who want to be. So.
Yeah.
And so when I said, you know what, I'm going to write a song about 40. And so I think I've been here enough times and watched enough of your streams to learn where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You're a poet, but you're also a historian guy, right? You're a historian guy, and I watch your videos, and some of them, did you know that you can have AI, if you place a video or a screenshot, it'll tell you where the video came from, then you can find the video. So I was doing that, believe it or not, to find all the events that were there and all the terms and whatnot. And it was through my entire history with my family. And apparently Ireland, England, and Scotland, we've had family travel over them. My mother and father did. And they did, if they didn't want to, they didn't have to stay in a hotel because we had family everywhere. And they would, come on, we got the people from America. Let's get in here. Tell us your stories and all that. And they would never have to pay anything. It was just a wonderful thing. So that was nice to know that the people were still down home, welcoming that way, which is unusual for us in Philly. So,
yeah.
So with all that, I came up with the idea and trying to make it look like you're a no-nonsense motherfucker, pardon my French. and that you believe in what's right is right.
Yep.
and you believe that the history is the way it's told, and you don't make up rules. You live by the rules that are there, that are long lost on all of our cultures. And so that's essentially where I got the idea for the song.
It is absolutely fucking amazing, mate. And you've got the tea. And by the way, even whenever something is unpleasant, where my people have done something unpleasant in the past, the answer to that is not to shy away from it or hide from it. It's to be open and honest about it, so that your people never hear that first thrown at them in an evil way.
Right.
And also, do you understand the context of why it happened? Because there's a lot of people who tell you that the British in India executed people by strapping them to cannons, and that is true. However, the people they executed by strapping them to cannons had went into a compound, killed something like 250 women and children with knives, and dumped them in the whale until the whale was overflowing. And they're the people that got strapped to a cannon for execution. And by the way,
wow,
if you strap somebody to a cannon, they're dead at the same length of time and suffering as it would if you hung them. So,
right.
But it makes a bit more of a spectacle.
Sure.
Yeah,
it sends a better message.
Yeah, it does. So the hiding away from things that your people have done that are maybe unpalatable and lying about it, that's not the way forward. It's about understanding the context. This all came together at a perfect time, because the world and the brother seems to think something really massive has happened in Belfast. But at the end of the night, you might not be so sure. Now, to be clear, I'm talking, what I say about this is an opinion.
Yeah.
I'll be right or wrong in about 50 years. That's whenever we're going to find out. I do think there are a couple of things that happened that could well be very culturally important, but it wasn't the violence. If you get me,
yeah.
There was stuff that wasn't violent that happened that is potentially going to make a difference and make a large difference in what's happening in Ireland. But with that, what I'm going to do is I'll put this back on the stage. I'll pause you, and what I'm going to do is play the first bit, then I'll drop it out a bit again. We'll have a look at what's on the screen, and then I'm going to give a proper explanation of what's happening. Okay.
Awesome.
Right, here we go. This is I'm Brad, who came in late. You're going to get it, and you're going to get this in bits. See, so
it's worth it, guys. It's worth it.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, fuck. I meant to hit the pause and I hit remove, but there you go. I'm going to go to. So that first bit was Ulster Day in September 1912. Bits of interest in it is it's from Pathé News. Did you see the people with sticks? Oh, hold on. Have you any idea what was going on? No?
Nope.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll do that first. Let's see. Where's my Ulster Covenant link? 1 second. So Ulster Day was the day that the Ulster Covenant was signed. Open this link.
Wasn't it to It was like to resist
Irish
home rule.
Right.
No, I thought so.
Yep. So I'm going to get this up on the screen. Boom, boom, boom. Right. We'll have a look at that in a sec. I'm going to give you the overview first. And so, 1912, England was going to introduce a Home Rule Bill, and all of Ireland was going to be ruled by an Irish Parliament from Dublin. That was going to put the British people in Ireland into a massive minority and would have ended up in a genocide. There was already after the division, there was approximately 100,000 people moved from the new Republic of Ireland into Northern Ireland because the Irish kept on murdering them. We knew that was going to be the case, so we demanded that Ulster remain part of the United Kingdom. And this happened in stages, and the first stage was the signing of this Ulster Covenant, which I'm going to talk about. And basically, it was to create a legal mechanism whereby we could create a proper militia and arm them, because you're not allowed to just create an army. However, under the correct circumstances, there's a bit of a grey area. And where am I? Yes. Right, 1 second. Ulster and Belfast, and we'll zoom this in. So, Ulster and Belfast. Origins of the Covenant. No, Ulster and Belfast. The inhabitants of Belfast woke up on the 20th of September to find a crisp, bright autumn morning. Lieutenant L.J. Gavin, the editor of the Pall Mall Gazette, reported, "It was like another Sabbath. This was done on a Saturday. All shops were shut. All work was stopped. From early morning, the streets began to fill, and throughout the surrounding crowds, the Orange and other unionist clubs marched with measured tramping. Belfast democracy had sacrificed its day's pay as a beginning, because obviously if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. So everybody went, and Saturday was still a work day. We're losing a day's pay for this. Throughout Belfast, religious services were held in the morning. So everybody went to church before they went to sign this. The moderator of the Preston Church, Reverend David Montgomery, delivered an address at the Assembly Hall in which he spoke with the roots to most of his listeners. The large majority of us here today look back at Scottish ancestry. We cherish the same faith, hold the same doctrines. Carson and Craig attended services at the Ulster Hall and afterwards made their way to City Hall. Here a circular table draped with the Union flag had been set up in the main entrance foyer. By the way, that flag that was used for that, I believe, is still the largest Union banner ever produced. The large majority of the US of us here today look back. Shortly after 9, flanked by leading unionists, many of them prominent Belfast citizens, Carson was the first to sign the Covenant. That may or may not be true. There are a lot of people saying that Carson got everybody else to sign before him on the basis that everybody else was going to have to take a place in the queue to sign it, and he did not want to be different. An image has become one of the most iconic of the day. He was followed by Lord Londonderry's son, Lord Castlereagh, and the leaders of the Protestant churches. Mostly Craig let others go before him and is not one of the first signatures. See, this is even contradicting itself. Carson was the first of some 35,000 men to sign the Covenant in City Hall that day. Positioned along the corridors in the building were enough desks, pens, ink, forms for 540 men to have signed simultaneously. Photographs of the day show huge crowds massed around Belfast City Hall and Donegal Square and the streets leading off it. City Hall remained open until 11 p.m. and afterwards the signed forms were taken to the Old Town Hall, the headquarters of the Unionist campaign. While the men of Belfast made their way to City Hall. The women signed a declaration at a number of venues around the city. During the service at Westbourne Presbyterian Church, an earnest appeal was made to the women present to sign the Women's Declaration. With the result, at the close of service over 1,300 women appended their signatures to the document, and that's only in that one place. Now, let's see. In Ulster as a whole, the covenant was signed by 118,206 men, and the declaration by 228,991 women. In addition, another 19,162 men and 5,550 women born in Ulster but living elsewhere signed in various locations throughout Ireland, Great Britain, and also the United States, Canada, Australia, and South Africa. I'm cognizant of the time that we have, so I'm not going to go too much more into depth of that. What I do want to do is give you the wording of this covenant that everyone signed. Share screen. Mm-hmm. Also, Covenant 1912. Sure. And get this up on the screen. At this stage, and we're going to zoom that in. There's a mural of this on the road round the corner from me. It's that one. I want to zoom this in again. So, what they signed to, being convinced in our consciousness that home rule would be disastrous to the material well-being of Ulster, as well as the whole of Ireland, subversive to our civil and religious freedom, destructive of our citizenship, perilous to the unity with the Empire, we whose names are underwritten, men of Ulster, loyal subjects of His Gracious Majesty King George V, humbly relying on the God whom our fathers in days of stress and trial confidently trusted, do hereby pledge ourselves in solemn covenant through this time of threatened calamity to stand by one another in defending for ourselves and our children our cherished position of equal citizens of the United Kingdom, and using all means which may be found necessary to defeat the present conspiracy to set up Home Rule Parliament in Ireland. And in the event of such Parliament being forced upon us, we further solemnly and mutually pledge ourselves to refuse to recognise its authority. Ensure confidence that God will defend the right we here to subscribe our names. And the women signed, we whose names are underwritten, the women of Ulster, loyal subjects of His Gracious King, being firmly persuaded that home rule would be disastrous to our country, desire to associate ourselves with the men of Ulster for the uncompromising opposition to the Home Rule Bill now before Parliament, whereby it is proposed to drive Ulster out of their cherished place in the Constitution of the United Kingdom and place her under the dominion and control of a Parliament in Ireland. Praying that from this calamity God will save Ireland, we here to subscribe our names. So basically, what happened was our citizenship was under attack. That made it legally possible to buy a bunch of rifles from Germany, land them. Well, it wasn't totally legal, but it was hard to stop us. We bought the weapons. The Clyde Valley arrived in at Carrickfergus, Larne and Carrickfergus, and other places along the guns came in, and we formed the militia, which was the Ulster Volunteer Force, and it was formed not to fight in the First World War in Germany. It was formed to fight the Irish or the British or any fucker that was going to take our nationality away. And that's then the deal was done that Ireland would become sovereign, but Northern Ireland would remain part of the United Kingdom. And the butcher's bill for that was that the 36 that the Ulster Volunteer Force become the 36th Ulster Division and go and fight in World War One. Where on the first day of the Somme, we took Swatchins right out. We were the only unit to actually meet our objectives on that day. Although because we were the only people made it forward, we got surrounded on 3 sides and pushed back. It took us, I think it was 8 months, thousands of dead, and the introduction of tanks to get us back to where we were on the first day of July. On the 18th of July, approximately 5,500 telegrams arrived in Ulster, telling the families that their loved ones were no more.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Basically,
excuse me.
Can I just interject that notice, everybody, that the only time the working man gets any fucking rights is when he puts his neck on on the line for his country.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that came out of the First World War was voting rights. Everybody thinks we got voting rights because of suffragettes, but because of conscription, it was decided that any government that was able to conscript men to fight a war, those subjects were going to have some say in how that government was formed. And that's where the 1921 Representation of Peoples Act came along, and everybody got the right to vote. So that's what that first bit was all about. The signing of the Ulster Covenant, the formation of the Ulster Volunteers, and them going to the Somme. On a more, I do have a video to show about this and how that is. I've got a video. Where is my links? And now,
I just think we're only in the beginning of the video.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Watch this on YouTube. And let's see. Let's get this. No, hold on. And if anybody thinks we forgot about what we've done, or we forgot how to organize or possibly raise such an army, let's find this share screen. This is the Somme Centenary Parade.
Cool.
I'm only showing a little bit of it, but check this out. On the stage. I'm going to skip a little bit. Possibly. Yeah, I'm going to keep the gap out. That's the regimental band, Ulster Volunteer Forces, Belfast. So as you can see, we've totally forgot about it. You know, part of the reason why those parades and all were made the way they are is, oh, by the way, we all also re-signed our covenant on the anniversary of it. There's another 100,000 that signed up the exact same wording, and we mean it. And the reason why we have some societies is just in case the government ever forgets. It's a constant reminder that we will do this again if we have to. Don't really want to, but we retain that ability. So with that, anything you want to say about that before we scoot along to the next bit? No,
I'm good.
Oh.
Carved in a stone,
Okay.
you can't move. 42. Where's the north wind like a tattoo? Green field trapped in a gray sky, saw the rain still stuck in his throat. Far from the line on the map, he carries that border like a coat. 42. Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, off to hear that low voice curse and bless, words like broken glass in the heather. Tongue tastes blood and black tea. He writes the river that cut his town. He writes walls only he can see. Vision of Ulster's flicker.
Right. I take us back just a little bit. Okay. To be fair, to be clear, to be very clear, you do not see me in this video at this part. Have
I know
you seen this grey wall over here and this White House and then this grey house? Whenever that plank was getting through in there, I was honestly standing round about beside a wall over there. The wall might have been falling down at the time, but it was a small wall. But that's where I was. I had no involvement with the plank going in. Now, this bit, along with let's see, I want to take us back. These people here are the Woodstock Tartan. They were the gang that protected that part of the town during the 1970s. And the bit of ratting that you seen there would have been their patch in the 1970s. They dealt with anything in that area. The tartan gangs, the first one was on the Shankill. What happened was there was a bunch of people from the Shankill who had, for those of you that don't know, whenever you see Glasgow Rangers or Glasgow Celtics play, there's a load of people from Northern Ireland in that ground every week because there's a boat goes over. There's actually two boats because there's one for the Celtic fans and there's one for the Rangers fans because you can't be putting them on the one boat in case somebody goes overboard because they don't get on. And they, a bunch of those people had liberated a lot of tartan scarves from the shop on the boat and give them out to their mates, and they started wearing them like belts. And they come into a pub one night and somebody says, "Oh, there's a tartan coming." That name stuck. They became a Shankill tartan. Then the other street gangs around Belfast, the other loyalist gangs, they chose different tartan colours. And so you'd see gangs walking about, or people walking about. They've got denim jeans, denim tops, and a tartan belt a tartan scarf tied around their waist like a belt. And from the tartan, you could tell whether they from the Schenkel, from the Woodstock, from the Newton, from wherever, from Craigie, because you all had different colours. So that was to incorporate them back into that area. That bit of road was happening, that was our area. And that bit of a riot was from the flag protests in 2012. And also is representing the Twiddale protests. Because the Twiddale protests, I'm going to talk quickly about as well, are both, they more or less merged. People having a protest about two pretty similar things. Yeah. So the flags protest, I'm going to get, where's my flags protest link? Right. January. All right. This will do. I'm just using Wikipedia on this for the timeline to do this sort of half quickly. So, right. 2,000 protesters gathered at Belfast City Hall on the 8th of December. The crowd was addressed. Jim Davison. Right, 2,000 people turned up at Belfast City Hall because the Belfast City Hall was having a vote on removing the Union banner from Belfast City Hall, and that vote won, and they decided to fly it on 18 specific days a year. Now, so from January 2013, from the 1st to 5th, each night from the 1st to the 8th of January, the protest led to clashes between loyalists and police in East Belfast. Rioters threw petrol bombs, fireworks, bricks, stones, bottles. Police responded with plastic bullets and water cannon. That's part of the riot that you see now. So that's just from the 1st to the 8th of January. So from the 3rd to the 8th, according to Belfast Telegraph. 7th January, Belfast City Council met for the first time since the vote was passed. The PSNI closed roads around the City Hall where loyalists protested outside it. On the 11th of January, protesters blocked roads in Belfast, Bangor, Newton Arch, Dundonald and Clough. There was riot in Newton Abbey and Carrickfergus, petrol bombs, fireworks, stones thrown at police. 12th of January, 1,000 loyalists gathered at Belfast City Hall carrying Union Jacks and no surrender banners. And the protesters marched back to East Belfast. Police tried to divert them away from the Short Strand. It's impossible to get from East Belfast to the city centre without walking past the Short Strand. There is no other way. You just can't do it. Short Strand sits between East Belfast and the city centre on both sides. What had happened, that's the bit of ratting that you see, and that's from the 12th of January. That's the one that I didn't put any captions on because it wasn't over the course, so I couldn't really, I didn't want to take away from the words. Right, so that's the 12th of January. 16th to 13th of January. 7th of January, leaflets distributed homes in East Belfast, where much of the rioting taking place, calling for an end to the violence. Didn't work. 20th January, 150 loyalists protest in London Derry outside a concert featuring Derry singers Nadine Coyle and Phil Coulter to mark the start of Derry's culture. February 2013, Irish Football Association Premiership match at CV between Crusaders and Cliftonville was called off due to a loyalist protest outside the stadium. March 2013, 150 loyalists turned up for a weekly protest Belfast City Hall. Let's see. Let's go to. We'll skip a bit. August 2013, the Lord Mayor. Yep. On 6th of August, Lord Mayor of Belfast, Sinn Féin councillor Martin O'Malley was attacked by large crowds of loyalists during the reopening of Woodfield Park, forcing the event to be abandoned. September 2013, one of the largest union flag protests seen in Belfast since January, more than 3,000 loyalists took to the streets. October 2013, Irish News, let's see. Yep. By the way, this started in 2013. There is still a protest every Saturday at 1 o'clock outside Belfast City Hall.
Wow.
And those riots went on the protests went on for years, with sometimes there's rioting, sometimes there's not. There's one bit of context. The other thing that these protests that links to is the Twiddale protest, and I'm going to get a link for that up. Let's see, where am I? So here we go. Watch on YouTube. This is 12th of July 2013. The 12th of July is our largest parade of the year. What happens is the lodges and the bands parade in their own area. They parade to Belfast from their own area to Belfast City Centre, do the Belfast 12th parade, and then now I doubt anyone here supports Celtic either. Then they do the Belfast 12th, then they parade back. The people in our doing had complaints about this parade going home past our area, and it was decided to stop it. And where did that link go? So this is what happened whenever that parade got stopped. Share screen. Share screen. Where is it? Oh, hold on. I need to stop that other one first. Remove. This is what happened whenever that parade got stopped.
I think he's taking a leak on it. The moon.
Nah. I'm dropping that out. Let's see. Hold on. What else do I have about that? I have Orange Truman Road. No. Where's my other one? Yep. Watch this one as well. Whenever I get past the fucking afterwards. StreamYard. We will promote.
Would you believe StreamYard or Facebook last night killed my stream?
Oh, the bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, because they said that one of the news stories I was doing seemed to be too violent.
All right.
I went through the whole show and I was like, what the hell was violent? Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. Right.
Footage of the violence in Belfast has been released by police. 30 officers and an MP were injured in the clashes in the north of the city. It as police tried to enforce a decision banning a controversial Orange Order parade from passing a Republican area. Disorder spread to East Belfast during the 6 hours of violence, which have been described by the Northern Ireland Police Force as shameful and disgraceful.
Nah, I didn't put any of the very violent rats. To be totally honest with you, it's becoming hard to get the old rat pictures rat. But there was 3 days of ratting, then there was a bit of calm, then there was more ratting, then there was more ratting, and yeah. So what happened next was the people who had their parade stopped. They started parading to that point. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, took Sunday off, and then started again. And it came to this. Where are we? Yep, I think this is the one. Yep. How long do you reckon it went on for? How long do you reckon they kept going back every day?
A year?
Check us out. Nah. There was not rats at this every day, but there was rats at it a lot of days. And here we are, day 700.
Wow. Wow. Is that like a weekly thing?
No, mate, this was daily. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 o'clock, Saturday, 1 o'clock, 3 bands, 2 lodges, went to that exact point. And whenever the parade rocked out, the people in the parade went into their little hut and they were given sandwiches, tea, coffee, buns, because these people are going to work, coming home, they've got to get out to the parade, so you need to feed them at the end of it. And the food supply was done by the Orange Orders and the bands. And the bands all contacted the people from the Orange Order and says, stick us on the rota, because you can't have the same band going fucking 5 days a week. And also, Orange Order members got in contact with them and said, any of your men need time off, we'll walk as a guest and fill their space, because you can't have the lodges not there. And we did it between us. And yeah, 700 days later, we were still, this is not the end. Right. For the sake of time, I'm not going to play much more of that because you've seen it now. Where this whole thing kicked off from is this. We'll get the... Where the fuck's my link? Yeah. Bump, 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 bump. Right.
What's up, Louie?
This is right. This is the morning parade going down towards the town. for whatever reason, there was a decision made that this parade was allowed to go. Well, it does the exact same route on the way in and the way out. It was decided it was allowed on the morning, but not in the evening. Where am I? Add this to the stage. Add this to the stage. Share screen. Share. StreamYard. Add the stage. Slide this along a bit. About there.
Wow.
Now I'm going to stop us whenever I get an appropriate moment. Right. Okay. To make sense of this, do you see the shops on the left-hand side with this green hoarding? Yep. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. The people that are out in this road protesting live behind those shops. Those shops are the natural barrier. This road is mixed, and it's an arterial road into Belfast. They can't get to Belfast city centre or from Belfast city centre without going down this road. Those people live the other side of the shops. This parade takes 4 minutes. If they waited until they heard the parade before they came out, it would be past before they got out to it. But they come out and protest and complain about it and claim that somehow we're marching through their area. This area here is called Ardoyne, and these are the loyalists from Woodfield and Shankill. Right? We're going to come back to this, but because this is actually quite important. These people are out complaining. Right, that is Gark and the guy who runs a Greater Ardoyne Residence Committee or something like that. It's run by a fella called D. Fennell. Trying to get to the roundabout. Right, so you get the picture. Those people don't like those people, and that's how we had. And by the way, there was like 5 years of ratting after that parade every year because the Irish nationalists came out and then they started ratting with the police in order to try to get the parade stopped. And that went on for 4 or 5 years before this, and then you had 4 or 5 years of protests after it. We've had one fucking night of a riot. It doesn't register with Belfast, with Northern Irish people. It really doesn't. It's a blip, and everybody's moved on since then. It was like there was a necessary evil going on, and now we're past it. Right. Nah. Let's see. This is taking way longer than I thought. Right. So
that's because you're into it, brother.
I can't get a word in.
Right. Pakka, now's your opportunity. Go for it, chum.
No, you're all right. Carry on.
Right. I'll come to that. See, the Irish really do not want the clean house. The Irish really, really do not want the clean house. And we'll come to that. So, we'll put that back on.
Curse and bless. Words like broken glass.
Right. This is the Somme Memorial Parade from East Belfast, Ballymacart district. Every year, 1st of July, we parade around our district in remembrance of the Somme. So that's why. Oh, I'm going to slide this back. Yep. That's why I put this on Ulster's Flickr over Rusted Wire and where it is, because we really don't want to be doing this ratting.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be having parades and fun and enjoying ourselves. But the situation we're dealt with is we have to fight for our country. So that's why
vision of Ulster's Flickr over rusted wire and ruin. He plants a flag in this dead valley and calls it home by singing 40.
The band that's following on there is the East Belfast, the Ulster Volunteer Regimental Band, East Belfast, that you've seen in the previous video of the Somme Memorial Parade. That's something that we do every year. It's just part of our culture. No. Let's see. What do we have next?
Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot. Every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice, curse and bless when the dust says 40.
Right. That was road closures by the Ulster Defence Association. That's a paramilitary organisation. Obviously,
I do have a question.
Yep.
The red hats.
What about the red hats?
Yeah.
What red hats?
There was you scanned a group of people,
Yep.
and a lot of them had red hats on. I don't know whether it was just like it was colorised that way or whether they were significant. I don't know.
They've potentially been the military police department. They've possibly had different coloured hats because they're the military police of the provost unit, because our paramilitaries also have a military police, the police of paramilitaries, because it's structured like an army. Most of them are ex-soldiers. So it's potentially been for that. That's part of that. I've got another video that I want to show from the 70s. Right. We'll show this. Watch on YouTube. Share screen. Share screen. Oh, the reason why I chose that particular image for the UDA or the Ulster Defence Association, that's on that same stretch of road where the previous rat was. It's in exactly the same place. 1973, we're fighting to hold that road. 2012, we're fighting to hold that road. Where this all repeats again and again and again.
Cool.
People, please understand, you're currently in intergenerational warfare. The fight is for your way of life. It's never, ever going to go away. So it's time to keep that in mindset. Raise your children to be the defenders of your community and enjoy your culture, because that's all you've got. That's why we like a party, because most of the time we're fighting. Now, this is a news report from the 17th of the 8th, 1972.
The decision to call the UDA back onto the streets was taken within an hour of today's bomb blast at the Standard Bar. The explosion came less than 24 hours after the barman was shot dead in another pub just 50 yards away. Tonight, UDA volunteers wearing their paramilitary uniforms are helping to control traffic along the Shankill Road. A UDA spokesman claimed that as many as 2,000 men will be on duty tonight throughout the city. The UDA had suspended their patrols just over 2 weeks ago when the army invaded the Catholic no-go areas. But tonight they were claiming that the army can't give the Protestant areas the same protection as their own volunteers. Their official statement said that the patrols are to assist the military operations, and they say they'll now continue indefinitely.
Split them up, 2 stage.
I asked the vice chairman of the UDA exactly what the patrols would be doing.
Well, we're going to see that the terrorists are stopped. The security forces have obviously failed to stop them. We have no alternative but to try and stop them ourselves. This we will try to do.
In your statement, you say that if you do come across any of the bombers, they'll be meted out with UDA justice. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't comment on UDA justice. The only point we could state about it is that Mr. Whitelaw's justice doesn't seem to work.
As far as the UDA were concerned, the bombing of the Standard pub, one of the most popular bars in the Shankill, was the last straw. The army had only just warning time, enough to clear out the lunchtime drinkers. The bomb had been left in a GPO engineer's van at the corner of Agnes Street in the Shankill Road. The explosion fractured a water main and extensively damaged buildings up to a quarter of a mile away. The army were concerned that local residents were reluctant to leave the area because they thought it was just another bomb hoax. And this is one reason why so many people had to be taken to hospital and treated for shock. 2 hours later, 4 armed men left a 40-pound parcel bomb at a petrol station in the Antrim Road. Army disposal experts were preparing to defuse the bomb when it went off. There were no casualties, but the garage was wrecked.
Now, that was my average news every day at 6 o'clock. 2 bombs and a shooting. Sometimes it was 2 shootings and a bomb. Sometimes it was 3 bombs and 2 shootings.
Wow.
But it was something new like that every day. And so the paramilitaries came out on the street to try to protect the area. Anybody saying that we have gone full fucking we've gone full nuclear needs to realize we did not put anybody in the streets in uniform, which we could have done. We did not take over any whole areas. We did not, in response to what happened, it was actually very measured. And the people who are telling us that it was very, very, very too much are the exact same fuckers that planted those 2 bombs and shot that person. And they say they did that because they had no other choice. Michelle O'Neill, First Minister of Northern Ireland, said the IRA had no other choice other than to murder people. I think that the families of the disappears, like Jean McConville, a woman with 11 children who was abducted in 72 or 73, I can't remember, tortured, murdered, and her body never came back until 2022.
Wow.
Yeah. There's still, the IRA still have, there's still bodies out there that the IRA are refusing to tell anybody where they are. they're the people that are saying we've went too far with what happened with the migrants. And again, I would say from a Northern Irish perspective, it was fuck all. It was one night of a bit of madness. The only thing about it was there was a couple of the only thing that makes it interesting at all is that there was a couple of houses burnt out, but those houses were, with one exception, those houses were houses that were suspected of harbouring the other migrant that was involved in that attack, because we know there was two of them. And I think a lot of what went, I don't know, I think a lot of what went on the night after was a seek and destroy mission. And I think the reason why they were going to different locations was because they thought that's where that person might be. And everywhere that they visited on the Loyalist side, it caught fire. Everywhere that the Republicans visited did not catch fire. They did none of that. There was a couple of bins burnt on the Falls Road and New Lodge and whatnot, but that's the extent of the that's the extent of the violence on their side of the protests. But it is interesting that both sides were going house to house in their own area, which is why I think they were on a seek and search and destroy mission. Nah. Where am I going to next? Fucking right.
Is it exile? If the land moves with you, is it freedom?
Right. The exile and Ontario thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1970s, the Ulster people had a couple of issues. First one is we knew nobody else was coming to help us. We knew we got to do this for ourselves. This is all on us. Our second problem was we didn't know that our children were going to become adults because there was a lot of them dying. And of those that lived, a lot of them were gaining criminal convictions before they left school. And we needed somewhere that we could provide a safe environment for our children. So a whole bunch of people moved off to Canada in order to facilitate that. And now we have, I don't know the exact numbers, but I know there's 4,000 or 5,000 families sitting in Canada with enough money in the bank for plane tickets home at a moment's notice. And they are coming back with an education, with jobs, with families to go back to until they get set up. And all the trophies from their local gun club. Because the interesting thing about terrorism is it's really hard to the problem being a paramilitary isn't the weapons. You can get the weapons, and if you can get the weapons in once, they're there until they get caught. But the bigger problem is A, ammunition, and B, training, because you can't go and spend an hour popping off rounds in a country where that's not legal. It's really hard to do. But the people in Canada, although the Americans will say the Canadian gun laws are very, very strict and whatnot, you can't get rifles, you can't get this, that, and the other. If you're involved in target shooting, you can. Though the rifle's got to stay at the gun club. But if all you're wanting to do is practice shooting, it's perfect. Because if you're ever going to have to use it, it's never going to be that rifle. And that is part of the reason why a lot of people went to Canada. And I do have a relative that's very high up in the Orange Order in Canada. So that's how I know that there's at least a couple of thousand families that are on a list ready to come if needed. That's our militia as such, our reserve force, should we need it. Oh. Right. Thoughts, people? All right. No.
I love the fact that you've got a whole school of target practicing teachers ready to come over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We've also a hell of a lot of people that have been trained by the British Army and the Territorial Army. Yeah. We are never less than 70% ready to go.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
It is, and that is. I mean, the mainland is looking at you. Is looking at Northern Ireland and how you're handling this for inspiration.
Oh well, I tell you what. See if the mainland wants to learn anything, stop telling us to fucking join with the Irish, because the Irish are not doing shit, and we're going to come to this very shortly. But it's come to the point where the Catholics in Northern Ireland are now having to make a very real choice whether they want to continue following Sinn Féin and be Irish and be part of an Irish country, because the Irish country is doing absolutely fuck all to stop this. In fact, they're encouraging it, whereas the British people are the people that's cleaning house.
Yeah, no. We're looking at you and seeing how things are done.
Yeah,
I mean, just from the videos you've shown tonight, how the police stand behind the Land Rovers and do nothing in Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
whilst on mainland, it's not like that, is it?
No, but on the mainland, you have no idea how to set up a perimeter.
No.
And also
on the mainland, you'll get done for throwing a traffic cone in the general direction of a Land Rover.
The reason why the police stay behind their Land Rover and protect that line is because if they move forward, their flanks get exposed. You know, there is an art to writing, and I'll tell you something else, just off the top of my head. Actually, I'm going to pull this up now. Finder.
Well, when I was growing up, my dad told me that the British Army was one of the best trained armies in the world because we went to Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Every squaddy in the British Army went to Northern Ireland.
Yep.
But that also works for the paramilitaries, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
The people.
Uh-huh.
You have the best trained people because, well, you live in Northern Ireland.
Yep. Nah. Where are we? More irony, open ladder. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, I'll show this now. Bum, bum, bum. Where are we? Share screen. Share screen. Window. Sure. At the stage. Can you read that? Where is the actual picture?
Yeah.
A request to be made to anyone living around Clothairn, Rathcoole, etc. for all ring doorbells, cameras, etc. to be turned off tonight. Strictly no phones recording, etc. I have no doubt the Patriots and Newton Abbey will comply. Thank you in advance.
Nice.
Right. Now, to contrast, I'll take that one out. And where the fuck's that folder? No, it's not your. I have too many screens open. Nah. Oh yeah. Gas man auditor.
Yeah,
whereas in England,
I did notice on mainstream media that although the mainstream media was there ready for the riots that everyone knew was coming, and they managed to film every house that was on fire, they didn't film a single person setting light to one, did they?
No.
Nope.
No.
But they all went home.
Yeah. Share screen. Whereas, and to contrast with England, window. Here we go. Presenter, in fact. Stop. Presenter, share screen. Share screen. Window. There. Share. Is that come up on the screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, right, it's on the bottom. At the stage.
There you go.
Yeah. Well done. Well done, fucking AJ Audits. Reese Robinson, 21, from Havant, has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for violent disorder after throwing stones at police and officers during Southampton riots. He was identified after being captured on live stream by auditors. You absolute fucking retard.
Wow.
You absolute fucking retard. You know, please, you've got to at least try to help yourselves. You can't be doing dumb shit. And I'll tell you something else. Dave Waffle had a thing on the other night. There was a guy at a protest wearing a t-shirt that said, Keir Starmer's a cunt. And got all surprised that the police come over and told him to take it off. And my message is, why the fuck were you even wearing it? Because you're at a protest. There's going to be violence, possibly. You want to be as unnoticeable as humanly possible. You do not want the police going. You do not want to be wearing something that makes you really recognizable, that's going to catch the eye of a police officer every time. And the other thing is, because you've got cunt written on your t-shirt, it's an offensive word. He can come over and ask you to take it off, and through that interaction, find a reason to arrest you. You're all going to end up in fucking jail if you just don't wise the fuck up.
Wear jeans and a hoodie, drive a red Escort.
And delete as little brand names as possible. You know, you at least attempt to fucking melt in.
Wow.
You know, it's like when I say use the English say that they can't.
I don't know whether anybody's ever noticed this, but jeans and a dark top.
Yeah,
that's the uniform.
Yeah, it is. It 100% is. Black jeans, black boots, not branded, black hoodie, perfect. You know, it's really not. So, it's a mixture of migrants and the left. Yeah. Yeah, the old bull stitch up all the time. And if you're wearing something like a t-shirt saying Keir Starmer's a cunt, you've just made yourself number one target. Like, why? What even? Right, nah. I'm going to move on because we're going to get to the end of this.
If the past still stares straight through, he laughs like a funeral. He prays like a fight. Writes Ulster in the sand, lets the wind decide the right. At 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs.
Right, all portrait. Let's go and 42. See if we can find this quickly. Right, here we go. A little bit of poetry by yours truly. Presenter on right. Stop that screen. Presenter on fed. Share screen. Share screen. Read the poem. StreamYard. Add the stage. Right. Remove. The stage. Is that large enough on the screen, or do I need zoom each? Right, here is a picture of a fireman shoveling a body into black bin bags. I got to see that live on TV as a 6-year-old. Wasn't brilliant. Anyway, my poem about Bloody Friday. The shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. The council worker had to ask, why was he selected for this task? The reply in a distant voice unclear, probably just because you are here. The shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. A knot made atop the plastic bag, then attach a little tag. He wonders where the bag should be placed. It cannot go with normal waste, but still, the shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. He looks up to see if by some chance there is a passing ambulance. Looking up, all he sees is decay, the product of the IRA. And in his mind, the shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. Confusion and fear reign near and far. 19 explosions within the hour. 9 deaths, I'm told, quietly. 9 deaths so far, and quietly told. Among them, a 15-year-old. So, the shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. People walking down a city street, an unexpected death they meet. Amid the restaurants, shops, and bars, the endless sound of exploding cars. So I ask, the shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. What makes someone a legitimate target? Please tell me before I forget. Over 150 mutilated current politicians are implicated. How do you sleep in your bed at night? How dare you profit from innocence' plight? And to those that say, not in my name, why do you folk them into power again? Because we remember the shovel's rasping sound as it travels across the ground. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes my heart sag. Bloody Friday. In Belfast, 21st of July, 22 bombs exploded in the space of 80 minutes, killing 9 people, including 2 British soldiers, and injuring 130. That's bullshit. Those figures have been massaged. Since the beginning of the campaign in 1969, the IRA had carried out a concentrated bombing campaign against economic, military, and political targets in Northern Ireland. It carried out a total of 1,300 bombings in 1972 alone. Bloody Friday, 2 minutes past 10, Samefield bus, a bomb exploded. 2:16, Brookfield Hotel. 2:35, the railway station, York Road. 2:45, Crumlin Road. 2:48, Oxford Street bus depot. Notice all these. This is in the middle of the afternoon, very fucking busy places. 2:50, Ulster Bank, Limestone Road. 2:55, Queen Elizabeth Bridge. Car bomb estimated £160. 2:57, the Liverpool Barn, Donegal Quay. Yeah, people waiting for a bus. 2:57, Ormeau Avenue. Agnes Street, again, that's in the Shankill Road. That's a fucking very, that's a residential area. A motorway bridge, Georgetown Road, Cave Hill Road. The people who say that we have overreacted did that. And that was just one day. And the people that did that are also the people that are saying we can't do anything to the migrants. They just can't figure out how to get rid of the migrants. They've no idea. They have no fucking clue how to get rid of the migrants.
Just turn to the people and ask them to do it.
Oh no! Here's the thing: they've spent fucking 300 years removing British people and murdering them.
Yeah.
And I'm expected to believe that the Irish just can't get their head around how to fucking deal with migrants. That the Irish Republican Army have no idea. I tell you what, maybe disappear one, maybe disappear three.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not going to get caught if the body never comes back. But no, they somehow can't manage that. Right. Now, to finish off the song.
42, hey, Ulster's poet, patriot. Every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42.
Oh, I am in this one. Oh, I'll take it back. I can thank me. See this white building, and then whenever that swings across to the other building, I'm at the corner of the other building. Yeah, just
that dot right there.
Yeah, I'm in there. That was the Ulster Says No rally. That was about the Anglo-Irish Agreement. They brought in I'll actually play the bit that I used there with its vocals because that'll explain it fucking quicker than I could. Where the fuck am I? Right. Yep, here. Right. Watch on YouTube. Right. StreamYard. Remove that. And presenter and say share screen. Let's create the demonstrate. That's it. StreamYard. Bump. Add the stage.
They came from throughout the north, converging from several points on the city centre. The intent was simple, to give a firm thumbs down to the Hillsborough Agreement. The crowd spilled out around the City Hall and back down the main shopping street, Royal Avenue. Unionist leaders James Molyneux and Ian Paisley emphasised that they were united in common cause against what they called this evil device. First, Mr. Molyneux had a message for Northern Secretary Tom King.
Mr. King has alleged we no longer represent your views. He has alleged that in your hearts you really like the Anglo-Irish Agreement. Well, do you? Oh!
Next, it was Ian Paisley's turn.
I want to ask a question today. And the question is simple. Where do the terrorists operate from? From the Irish Republic. That's where they come from. Where do the terrorists return to for sanctuary? To the Irish Republic. And yet Mrs. Thatcher tells us that republic must have some say in our province. We say never, never,
So that was this was the beginning of starting to merge all the institutions in Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, and like we used to have our own power station in Northern Ireland. We now get our electric from Ireland. We used to have all our own dairies, and now we're getting most of our milk in from Ireland. That was the beginning of it. You're going to be shocked, but there was another 200,000 at that same place a year later over the same issue, doing more ratting, and the year after. So, seeing less something has gone 2 to 3 years here. It's not a major issue. It's a blip. I could go into other things like Drumcree 1, Drumcree 2, Drumcree 3, all the other protests that we've had. So, whenever you're thinking about how much violence happened last week on Monday night, because it really stopped mostly after Monday night, apart from a couple of wingdings up at Rathcoole, kept it going for another couple of nights, but it was basically over. What do you think, in the context of Northern Ireland, do you think it was a major event? Or no? Because I'm thinking kind of I don't think it was as bad as what they're making it out to be. Actually, I don't really think it was bad at all. The only person I really feel sorry for is the fella who got his house burnt because the gas main caught fire and the connecting house burnt. And with that, I will play the rest of it. I'm not sure if you can see it, but can you see the tartan writing at the bottom of the mug?
Never seen that before.
All right, that's my Woodstock tartan mug, and it's the same colors as. Where are we? No, it's past that. Somewhere about there.
Where's the north wind like a tattoo? Green field trapped in a gray sky, saw the rain still stuck in his throat.
Does anybody else get a warm feeling when they see BMWs getting torched?
I think you just passed it.
Yeah, there. Yeah. Yep.
Hear that low voice.
Yep, that's my Woodstock tartan mug. I was too young to be in the tartan, but I've got the mug, and that's the mug that I used for during the thing, making that video. So there you go. There you go. So that's pretty much the context of the video. And I think what I need to do is play it in one thing whole through and get myself a bit of liquid, because I feel like I've been the only person talking here all night. Mm-hmm. Rich, I'm really sorry for bringing you on, you being a spectator. Oh, fuck.
No, fine, man. No. I learn every time I come here.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world, Rich. I love it, though.
Okay. I'm going to play the whole thing right through and get myself some liquid, and then we're going to have a bit of a chat. There is, we'll play it right through, then we'll have a chat, and I'll show you the two things that I think have actually made a difference during this, during these riots, because there is something that has happened. lump you back to the start. Here we go.
In the red dirt, name carved in a stone you can't move. 42 wears the north wind like a tattoo. Green field trapped in a gray sky, saw the rain still stuck in his throat. Far from the line on the map, he carries that border like a coat. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless, words like broken glass in the heather. Tongue tastes blood and black tea. He writes the river that cut his town. He writes walls only he can see. Vision of Ulster's flicker over rusted wire and ruin. He plants a flag in this dead valley and calls it home by singing. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42. Is it exile if the land moves with you? Is it freedom if the past still stares straight through? He laughs like a funeral, he prays like a fight, writes Ulster in the sand, lets the wind decide the right. At 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42. 42. 42.
No. Right. Here's what I say as being here's the two things I feel are culturally important. that has changed. Share screen on X. Sure. StreamYard. If you watch Dave Waffle, you seen this last night. No. This is actually interesting. Aren't new and different. Is that up on the screen? It is.
Yeah.
Listen to this and see, do you remember anything from earlier on in the evening about this?
We met last night on the Crumlin Road
With Protestants.
with the Protestant community from the Woodfield, Shankill, I'd say from Ardoyne, born and reared all my life. And we met there. I wasn't there at the probate moment at the very start, but the crowds gathered and then they met in the middle, put their hands out and just started chatting. Just as concerned parents. Just concerned parents.
And how big is the immigration problem in and around your areas?
Well, in the centre of Ardoyne, it's not that bad in Ardoyne, but all around the outskirts, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I drive down the main road, the Antrim Road, Coming Road, and it doesn't look like Belfast anymore. Every bus stop is full of foreign nationals. Now, there's never been a problem with immigration in Ireland whatsoever. There's no racist thing. It's not a colour problem. It's a culture problem. There's people coming with obscene cultures into our country. They are beheading people up and down this country. We've had beheadings in Sligo, Limerick. Ashley Murphy was murdered on the side of the river by Roma Gypsy. It should have been in this country, but we've had numerous beheadings in Ireland. Then we had this poor man that's not too far from my home, was butchered on the ground, eyes poked out, and tried to kill him. It's frightening.
Now, recognize any of those names? Do you remember the protest with the parade on the 12th of July? And they're going there for 700 days? That's who met on the roundabout. Both sides of that came out. The people from Torrell and the people from Ardoyne came out and met and closed that roundabout where you seen the raw out shouting at the parade going down, and they've barred that parade. That is absolutely fucking amazing. That's something I never thought I would ever have seen. And that's a genuine meeting of minds where the people from both sides of that came out and went, there's something going on here that's bigger than this. Now, while that is very good, there's also a small problem, because where is that folder? Then after that meeting, what happened was this. Share screen, window, share. I'm going to zoom this in a bit. And that is it. It is. Right. Hold on, I get over to this. Scroll this out a bit. This is from D. Fennell. He's the person that runs the Ardoyne residence group. High-profile dissident Republican says that he and other individuals will be mobilising after the homes of minority families were targeted in racist violence close to Ardoyne and Belfast. Damien D. Fennell posted on social media that he had visited the home of a very distressed family who had masked men at their door, threatening to put them out for being black. Fennell said local representatives gathering around to support them with us as we speak. We have reassured them that they're welcome in Ardoyne and these racist scumbags don't represent the district. He added that the contact details of local Republicans have been left with them and we will be mobilising at their house should anyone arrive at their door. Make no mistake, local Republicans will be defending this family and others attacked like this by any means necessary. The good people of Ardoyne won't allow our area's name to be tarnished by scumbags, and we've no doubt plenty will support us in protecting these families. It is the people that have traumatized these families that we don't want. You are absolute scum. So that is Greater Ardoyne. How do I close that window? And I have another similar one that I want to run through. Where is ring doorbell? Just more RNA. No, I don't. Right. I thought I had another screenshot of a similar thing by a different Irish Republican group. But what's currently happening now is the Catholic people in Northern Ireland are waking up to a choice. Do they continue with demonizing everything British and support their Sinn Féin, SDLP, people for profit, who are bringing the migrants in? And that's where the schism is going to be. I think Ireland is heading towards a civil war between the right-minded Irish people that want a decent country and the Marxists that currently have got hold of the whole thing. And there is one. I'm definitely going to show you Emma G's little bit of video because I couldn't not do that. Bump, 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 bump. Where is it? Bump, bump, bump. Oh yeah. Let's see if I was car. Right. Bump, bump, bump. Sorry, one momento. Finder. Downloads. Car. CAR. Why is that not? Car 1. Where'd it go? There you go. Right. Present, share screen, window, share, StreamYard. The stage. That's it. Yep. Where is that? I make a play. This is us. By the way, see this street here, McMaster Street? This street is fucking listed as a terraced house that has to be preserved to keep the Victorian terraced houses thing. So there's that. Maybe you should have put who can live there as part of the listing, but here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Here we go. And then I'm going to go around the corner and back up the next street.
Are they gas lamps on them streets?
No.
Oh. But they were originally, yeah?
Yes, but by the time that they were listed, they'd been changed to electric. I'll pause this in a moment. Yeah. Still a little bit messy. That's the street that the gas thing come in. Oh, that's what it's currently like. So there we go.
I did watch mainstream media to see how they would cover this, and they did manage to find, I think it was a house with 2 African nurses in it somewhere. So I'm very sorry, Northern Ireland, you've lost 2 nurses over this.
Oh.
Do you think you'll be able to cope?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Yes,
sure?
That woman, the African nurse, was on the Shankill Road, and it was a bit of a misfire. It was some youngsters went to a house they weren't supposed to, and I believe they have had a talking to. And no, not to do that again.
Yeah, they've had a talking to. They won't do that again.
Yeah, they won't, or they'll have a lot of problem walking. So that's pretty much us up to speed. That's where I think this is. I think the only really big thing is that the people of Ardoyne and the people of Twiddale Avenue, Woodfield, who have been at loggerheads for forever, were able to meet in the middle of a road around this, and the people of Ardoyne are now making a decision about whether or not they need to have a change of politics, and that's where I see the cultural difference. If there's going to be a paradigm shift, if there's going to be a big thing, it's going to be inside that, and Sinn Féin could well be on their way out, along with the other Irish nationalists, because it has eventually got to a stage where there's something happening that they can't blame the fucking British. So there you go. Thoughts, people?
It's coming to it. It's coming to it. I've never been French, never, and I never will be. But I'm 100% more French than I am Middle Eastern.
Yeah, Senegalese.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, there was a woman stabbed in Burnley.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, Burnley, you're up. Find that fucker.
Burnley. I've been to Burnley, and it is exactly as you would expect. You would expect to find Burnley quite high on the list of grooming gangs.
Well,
let me put it that way.
What to do is find a house that person came from and make sure nobody lives there again.
Yeah. We're watching, we're looking, we're learning.
Yeah. The other thing that I will. Oh, sorry. There's one important one that I almost missed. Almost. I'm not sure if you caught this memo. Fuck's sake. I know that. Right, hold on. Audio, more RNA. Gas mains. RNA. Ring doorbell. Racist. Open border. Oh, a very quick, funny one. We've got new taxis in Belfast. That's right. Share screen. Window. Check out our new taxis. Yeah. Right. We'll take that out now. Yep. The other important thing is this. I think this has gone more under the radar than it should have done. New approach. I have too many things open on my computer and starting to fuck me about. Share screen. Share screen. Window. Sure. Did you know about this? The UK War Terror Watchdog says migration is now a national security issue. Follow unrest in Northern Ireland, Britain's independent terror legislation reviewer has called for a new approach to the immigration policy. It took one fucking night of ratting. Because up until now, every time one of these migrants come in, it's a game of Russian roulette. But the only people playing is the fucking public. Because no matter what they do, fuck all happens. But now they're starting to realise if this goes off in Northern Ireland again, it's going to happen again. And now they need to watch out for the migrants because there's going to be a backlash. And England, be advised, our migrants are coming your direction because the government's shipping them out because they're not safe. Oh, and see the guy that did that? He's going to get deported upon conviction. And the reason why he'll get deported is he's not safe in our jails. And they'll ask him, do you want to go to jail with these people?
That Henry Novak stabber has found that out, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, they all shoot. But
did you hear about that, Rich?
No.
He got the guy that stabbed Henry Novak, the Sikh guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
He's gone to prison.
Yeah. I did that. I think I did that story last week.
Yeah, somebody spilled boiling water and sugar on him.
Yeah.
Oh, sugar's a good additive to anything.
Well, we have one here where a black kid went into the other team's area, and they said, you don't belong here, and stabbed them. And they're all acting like the black kid, the stabber, is the victim here.
Yeah.
It's like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, you push me so I can stab you in the heart.
Yeah, I can stab you right in the heart. Sure.
Yeah. And if not, well, that's racist.
It's because the guy wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. He's got.
That's just.
Anthony Kimono. But.
Yeah, it's Carmelo. Yeah.
Yeah, Carmelo. Well, his family. His family got a shitload of money for his legal defense.
Yeah, Gibson and Go or Go Fund.
And then didn't use it and then bought a house with it and gave him a public defender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and he's doing a conviction, but he hasn't got any money.
Yeah, well, here's the next thing. I believe he's been making gang signs of gangs that he wasn't a member of. And that's going to play really well in prison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's fucked before he's fucked before he goes in. You know, somewhere along the line there's going to have to be something rational happen. Yeah, it's all just fucking nuts. Yeah. Yeah, he went into the tent and then refused to leave. And they actually let him stay under the tent while it was raining. And then like the rain's off, you can go out now. He's like, make me. It seems very much like he was there looking for a fight because he knew he had a knife. It was absolutely fucking nuts.
Yeah, why are you taking a knife to attract me?
Yeah. Oh, his supporters are fucking nuts. And the amount of disinformation that they're spreading is fucking amazing. Total and utter bullshit. Oh, yeah. And that knife was a fucking cleat cleaner.
Yeah.
As if such a thing exists. It's fucking nuts. Right.
Well, he fell into the knife. That's what really happened.
Yeah.
He tripped and fell into it 4 times.
Yeah, it is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on around the world And it's usually because of Muslims, not always, but usually it's the Muslims. Because they're not compatible with the West, and which is why they're doing the Islamic swarm right now. They're trying to take over the West.
Yep.
And it's bad when your government allows them in.
This is it. The government have to understand their responsibility in all this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else. How you can tell that this isn't racist, that none of this is racist. If somebody comes and raps your front door, right? They walk up 3 o'clock in the afternoon and rap your front door. Right. You don't know what they're there for. They could be there to read your electric meter. They could be lost and looking for directions. They could be any number of things. But you've got the same way of answering your front door and interacting with them until you find out what they want. Right. And it's very different to how you interact with somebody that fucking comes in, tries to break into your house through your back window at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not their color, their race, their religion, or anything that we have a problem with. It's their fucking behavior.
Yeah. But that is brought on by their religion. Because I don't believe Islam's a religion. I think it's a totalitarian system that was invented back then to keep control of their people.
Yeah, well, it encompasses how finance is done. It encompasses how everything within your life is done. It's more like a fucking cult than anything else.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, you think about it. Every other religion, including Buddhism, is it's based on, like, for example, Christianity and Judaism. It's based on you're going to have a better relationship with God. For the Christians, it's through Jesus Christ, right? Well, what is Islam? It means submit, right? Basically, it's not your relationship with God. You have to submit not to God, to Allah. You have to submit to Islam.
Yep.
It's Islam that you have to submit to. What the fuck is that?
System.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
If you're a Christian and you leave Christianity, what do the Christians do to you?
They go,
or say, we'll pray for you that you find your faith again.
Yeah. I have a cough here.
Most religions search for enlightenment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they say, no, you got to submit to Islam. Islam is the top tier, not God, not you. It's Islam.
Do you know what they do to you whenever you leave Islam?
Oh, yeah.
They murder you.
Oh, yeah. They'll kill you. You're an apostate.
Yep.
Yes, they will kill you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it's a religion of peace. Look, when they say Islam is a religion of peace, what they mean it the same way that a U.S. Marine says, my rifle is an instrument of peace.
Yes.
Because it means when all the fucking enemies are killed, we shall have peace. And that's what Islam means when they say it.
Yep.
When they say that bullshit, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. They're talking about, it's a fucking genocide call. They're like murderous animals. And I don't want to hear, well, there's some Muslims that are good. Yeah, if you got down to it and you said to them, look, your book says that you have to hate me and you have to kill me. Do you believe that? They'll be like, yeah. They'll just tell you straight up if you had one-on-one. Well, yeah.
The problem is all of our politicians give half the quote. Islam is a religion of peace, but we've got to get through a lot of murdering of every.
Oh, yeah, you got to kill everybody, then we'll have peace. Yeah. Yeah. See, the problem I think it is
the most insane thing I've ever heard.
I think that they need a reformation. Christianity had a reformation. Judaism had a reformation. A lot of religions had a reformation. They need one badly.
Well, Islam cannot have a reformation because the only person that can change anything is Muhammad, and he's fucking dead.
Yeah, well,
so there is no option for a reformation.
Yeah,
there are some Muslim sects that are more peaceable. Yeah. However, the violent Muslims murder them.
Yeah, well, Muhammad, I mean, what kind of morals did he have? He married a 6-year-old and consummated the marriage when she was 9. And how do we know that? She freaking told us.
Oh,
she tells us. Yes.
Like
he was 50-some years old, and he had sex with her when she was 9.
The man had a dream one night that the people of Medina were poisoning his water.
Yeah.
So because of the dream, he took all his men to that town, murdered all the men, cut their heads off in a dry river bed, and used the blood as a river in which to rape the women.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he is supposed to be the perfect man that you should follow for inspiration. I'm sorry, you need better fucking role models.
Well, his first act as the prophet was to have his entire hometown slaughtered.
Yep.
Because he went to his hometown and he said, "I am the prophet. Allah spoke to me." They said, "Get the fuck out of here." And they kicked him out, laughed at him, spit on him. So he goes up in the mountains nearby because he knew there was a bunch of people to live up there. And they weren't Scots, by the way. And so he goes up there and he goes, "Hey guys, you guys, you like to pillage and kill. So I have an entire village that I know they have a lot of stuff. And if you slaughter everybody there," and they all went, "Oh, okay." And they go down, they slaughtered everybody. That was his first act as the great prophet. Yeah, okay. We're supposed to go, "Oh wow." And then it seemed like every time someone said, "Muhammad, you shouldn't really do that. It's like frowned upon." The next day, "I had a vision last night. Allah told me I can do this." And they'd write it up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No thanks. No thanks. It's totally incompatible with Western civilization. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Western civilization is the greatest civilization ever created. And I would like to thank you motherfuckers for that. But Western civilization was the most profitable. It is the greatest, which is why it's failing now. Why? Because we don't really live in Western civilization anymore with the fucking globalists, right? With the communists and the globalists in charge of everything. Now, in my country, we have a reprieve for 4 years because we have Trump in there and he's fighting back against the globalists and whatnot. But he's not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Well, he can't, bless him.
Well, this is the other thing. This is the other message I've got for English people. None of what we did would have been possible without I wouldn't say we've had support from our politicians, but they have looked the other way. The loyalist politicians have looked the other way and not condemned anything. They've condemned violence, but they haven't said they haven't called the people scum or anything. They've said you need to. What they've made appeals for calm. We know everybody's angry, but this is going too far. Settle it down. Settle it down. That's as far as our politicians have went. And to be fair, that's as far as our politicians can come. Because whenever the British government went to our unionist politicians and and Sinn Féin, the other ones went to our politicians, says, "You need to stop this. You need to tell them to stop." I believe our politicians turned around and said, "I think you've got it the wrong way round." Yeah. Those people tell us their views and we speak them. We don't tell them what to do. And if you want this stopped, you're probably going to need to bring in the army. And that's a big no-no, because part of the peace deal is no army on the street. And that is part of why we now have a change in government policy for immigration, which is going to take a while to get through. I believe the defense minister has stepped down because this has become a national security issue.
I think we've had two in the front bench step down. Yeah, and he's struggling to find replacements because apparently we can give 21 billion to Ukraine for their defense.
Isn't that fucking crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not crazy. It's called money laundering. That's what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what. Remember that guy? What the hell was the name of it? FTK or whatever. It was that crypto company that he got caught and all.
FSB.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you know that he from the $1 billion that he had acquired, his company donated a large sum of money to a Ukrainian fund that Zelensky was behind. And then magically, the government of Ukraine gave millions upon tens of millions to him, and he used it to help fund all the DNC's campaigns. So he sent fraudulent money over to a fund in Ukraine that Zelensky was reaping rewards from, and then the government of Ukraine, and it was set up through Antony Blinken through the State Department, and he funneled it back. Why? Because the DNC spent all their freaking money. They couldn't afford to pay for the campaigns for Democrats, and so they did that. They literally took the money, which is why I'm saying he either hired a food taster or they just let him go, because he has so much. They put his ass in jail, but he has so much that he could say, that guy, and they haven't offed him yet. You know, so I don't know. Maybe it's because his mother was a long time communist, rabble rouser, community organizer, if you will.
Or he's maybe turned around and said, "I'm willing to do this time as a soldier."
Oh yeah, that's what he's doing. He's not talking at all.
I'll take this. I'm still 100% committed to the cause. I'm going to do some time in jail for you, and then whenever I come out, you're going to look after me.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
well, fuck. If he did do that, he's a dickhead, because there is no chance of them actually looking after him.
Right. I don't know.
Sam
Bankman-Fried, that was his name. Yeah, FTX.
Yeah,
that was it. FTX. Thanks, Commander.
Not talking about Hillary there for there.
Yeah. If she was involved, he'd be number 52, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. There was some shit I heard today. Okay, you ready for this? You know who Prometheum Action is? You ever hear of them? All right, it's a group that it's an American group that's very pro-Trump, very pro-America, and they were pro-American and UK alliance. But lately, they've been pointing out how your government is getting exposed left and right for like 80 years of trying to fuck our economy. No shit. You guys didn't know anything about it. And what recently happened, what they just recently discovered, Mike Pompeo? Remember the name?
Yeah, I know the name.
He was the head of our CIA, and then he became our Secretary of State. He was literally one of Trump's worst enemies, and Trump didn't know it. And he was stabbing him in the back every day. When he made, he had Gina Haspel, Gina Haspel was a CIA woman who was working the London desk, and she was behind. Remember when they had some spies go in and they talked to, what's the guy's name? There were two people, Carter Page and the other guy, Greek guy, I forget. And they were like the patsies for the whole Russia thing. Well, Gina Haspel, she ran that operation out of London with the help of a lot of MI6 people. Okay. And here they just discovered that the CIA under John Brennan, that piece of shit, under him, that they were working together as one unit with MI6, and it was all to take Trump down. And he did nothing wrong. And then Gina Haspel goes on when Pompeo, when he goes over to the State Department, runs the State Department, he has Gina Haspel risen up to the director of the CIA, never freaking told his boss, Trump, the president of the United States, that, oh, by the way, Gina Haspel, she ran the London desk that started the whole bullshit with Christopher Steele and all that against you. So think about that. Our intel services were all a bunch of fucking anti-Trump people, and he had no idea. I mean, because he didn't know anybody in there. Now he's much smarter than he was before. I'll say this out loud. I kind of like the fact that they stole the 2020 election, because it gave Trump 4 more years to think about how am I going to make things right with America and the world while fucking the globalists at the same time. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Did you hear the other story? I'm sorry, I'm pushing American shit.
We can see that comes across because that is what he's done the first time.
Oh yeah, but did you see what he? Did you see that oil was $85 a barrel? Yeah, how is oil down to $85 a barrel when all the fucking the globalists in finance and the banks are saying, oh my God, it's going to go over $200 a barrel because of the Iran war? Did you hear what he just admitted? He was doing a presser from the Resolute desk, and he admitted, he said, well, you know what, we got like millions of barrels through at night with the lights off on the ships, and we were escorting them because we took out their fucking radar, right? Iran's radar. So and the press didn't want it. They were like, prove it, And okay, well, oil's now down to 85, right? And everybody and the lib nuts in my country are all still saying, well, why is gas still high? Because you're an idiot and you don't understand economics. Before they can process and get that lower price gas on the market, you have to sell all the shit that was made at a higher price. Otherwise, you lose money. You don't just drop the price because the cost went down per barrel.
Although, having said that, see, whenever the price of the oil goes up, the stuff at the pump goes up along with it. They don't get the delay for going up, but coming down,
takes a long time. Yes. Yes. Isn't that crazy? The way that works?
It depends exactly how much stuff's in the system.
Yeah. So what I see now is I believe that over the course of the next few months, like we've had really good jobs reports, like 175,000 for May. I mean, that was a lot more than they expected, right? And they're not revising anything down either. In fact, for several of them, they had to revise up because they were wrong in counting it, right? And so I think what's happening is it took Reagan a year too to get his economy going. It took a year for all the manufacturing plants to either come back or to move here or to start here, and because of all the policies that he created and the tariffs as well. So right now those plants are just about ready to open up, and just millions of jobs are going to come. And so you're going to see that. You're going to see oil go down. You're going to see the markets rise. I mean, the markets went up 900 points in the United States. I think the Dow went up 900 points the day when Trump just came out and said, yeah, we got to deal with Iran. And so the markets are all skitsy, but now everything's starting to come in. And the lib nuts have spent the last 2 months trying to trash Trump and the MAGA movement and all that. Oh, you're destroying the world. And I tell them, shut the fuck up. Your party nearly destroyed the world, with all the bullshit that they pulled under warm diarrhea brains, Joe Biden. So fuck them.
The other thing is,
Rich, have you heard of David Pakman?
Who?
David Pakman.
Oh, Pakman? Oh, I've done several videos on him. Now, my brother, Jimmy, he won't call Jimmy anymore. Yeah, or he won't take Jimmy's calls anymore. But I've done several videos pointing out what a wanker this guy is, like what a total jerk off he is, because he's a liar.
Weird,
he's a liar. He's just a. What's that?
He's not just that, but he's weird.
Yeah, he is totally weird. Yeah, you know what it is? He has the professor syndrome. Okay, he's a teacher in a college. All right, and when you walk into a college classroom, it's your fiefdom, right? You are in charge. Everybody has to kiss your ass, no matter who you are, because they want that good grade, right? And so, I mean, with a lot of these professors, you could work your ass off, get the greatest grades, and they find out you're a MAGA supporter. Oh, F. This is what they do, right? And so he's used to walking into his room and everybody kisses his ass. Well, it's not that way online. And he lies. He lies about so many things. I love doing videos on him because there's so much material. I just take one of his videos and I spend my video just pointing out where the lies are. And he never brings up proof of anything he says. Right. And I just love destroying him in my videos. And Jimmy keeps telling me, you got to debate him. You got to debate him.
I stick my ass in his comments and argue with them because they're equally as funny as his supporters.
Yeah, he's a little nuts too, because some of the things he says are like off the wall, really off the wall.
Oh, talking about that with professors, Rich, Emma G is very close to becoming a fully qualified nurse.
Oh, cool.
Right. So she So it's a degree in nursing that she's doing. And very early on in the process, I said to her about whenever there is, because she's got to do essays and all that, and what she's been doing the whole way through, because I give her the tip to it, whenever she's talking about the policies that are shit, she just goes, some people say, or, people advocate for doing it this way. And she puts in something at the start of it. So as she's got the information, needs to be in there to get the proper grade. But she is not, she's danced around saying she agrees with it.
No.
I understand how this works.
Yeah. Angle, she is doing amazing. She's got really, really, really good grades. I don't want to say anything else in case Scott will be announcing sooner in a while what our final grade is. It's a degree. We'll see exactly where it lands. It could be.
I work in the care industry, but I'm just like the maintenance man for the building. So I don't care about people, but I have interacted with girls that have gone on to become nurses, and I have warned them, you're going into this system, understand that this is the way it works, and just this is what you need to say and agree to, and then go and be a good nurse. Off you go.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's that way here, too.
Yeah.
Especially during COVID, it was that way.
Yeah. Look, here's where my biggest problem with all of this woke bullshit and it going into medicine is we now have doctors, medical doctors, that cannot tell you what gender someone is by a physical examination.
Yeah.
And we've got men getting invited for a cervical smear. We've got women getting invitations for prostate cancer screening.
Yeah, I know. Trump got rid of that in America. He got rid of all that.
Yeah. But look,
it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you're supposed to fucking go along with it or else you could be penalized.
Well, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. How far does this go into the medical profession? Because this is where it gets fucking real.
Yeah, I know.
I
know. They're not trustworthy anymore. The globalists and the libnuts, they have destroyed our trust in medical.
Well, it's even worse than that. They've destroyed medicine itself.
Yeah.
They've destroyed doctrine. The British National Health Service put out a blog, and it was published, and it said that men might have problem giving birth because the penis has got a very small opening.
It's just unreal, isn't it? It's unreal.
Yeah, and like that was written.
David Lammy. What position in the government does David Lammy hold? Is it Home Secretary or something?
Yeah.
He thinks a man can grow a cervix. He thinks that. He believes that.
We got a guy, James Tallarico, who's running for Senate in Texas, and he's claiming that there are 6 genders. And he talks to you like you're an idiot. You don't know there's 6 genders. What's wrong with you? What's wrong?
Oh, yeah, what the fuck's wrong with him? There's about 94.
Living under a rock. There's 6 genders, you asshole. I mean, this is how they talk to you.
Yeah, but my thing to him would be 6. You're missing quite a few. There's a hell of a lot more than 6.
Yeah.
I personally, I identify as an attack helicopter. See every form I get where it asks for your gender, attack helicopter goes in there. It's actually quite cool because I got a new phone recently, so I'm going through the thing that you've got to set up the phone, and it goes name, date of birth, gender, male, female, other. Now other, click that, and then it gives you a drop-down menu. Attack helicopter's not on there, so scroll right to the bottom, hit customize, and type in attack helicopter, and that goes onto the system. And that what that means is they've now got another attack helicopter on their firm. And once the attack helicopters hit 1% of the total people, that term will go into the drop-down menu. And with it being an attack helicopter, it's going to be one of the first ones. And you'll have people, these wingdings, that get very excited every time they get to fill in their gender, and they go down and other. And one of the first things to see is attack helicopter, and like, what the fuck's this? Those bastards are making stuff up.
Yeah. They did make it up out of whole fucking cloth, man.
Yeah. Oh, and why attack helicopter? Fly in, fuck everything up, and fly out again.
Didn't they do the same with Jedi in religion?
Yep. Yes.
In the census.
Yes.
They put Jedi.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
yeah. In the UK,
the Australians started that.
What's that?
The Australians started that, and then it went viral everywhere.
But they list Jedi as a joke, and like all of a sudden you're like, Jesus Christ, you gotta love them.
No joke. It's a religion.
Enough people in Australia put Jedi as their religion on the census form.
Oh my God,
that they had to make it an option.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah, well, this is how you end up with Boaty McBoatface. Don't ask an Englishman to give you a straight answer.
Oh fuck! Do you know about Boaty McBoatface? There was this new fancy survey boat, for checking climate and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, it was going to the South Pole. It was a proper bit of kit. It was going to slice through fucking ice.
And they asked the great British public to name it, and all the names went in, and then you got the vote for it. And somebody put in the options Boaty McBoatface, and that became the fucking clear winner.
Why am I?
Try this sometime. It's a Texas term. Your name is Holden McGroin.
Holden McGroin.
Holden McGroin.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those here. Yeah, bend over. I was in college in a frat, and we used to have
crispy.
Here's to Ben. It was a reason to drink. It was Ben Dover's birthday.
Yeah, Dixie, enormous.
Yeah, we had a lot of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the second choice by quite some margin was the Sir David Attenborough, which is what it got called.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like it was the Christmas #1 that was banned by the BBC sort of thing.
But there is a submersible on it that is called Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah.
Boaty McBoatface.
Suffit. Stabby McStabface.
Yeah, I like that. Holden McGroin.
Yeah, Holden McGroin.
Dick Insider. Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
I grew up and in our town there literally was a girl. Her last name was Cianci. Her middle name was Ann, and her first name was Nancy. So her name was Nancy.
Fuck.
I went to school with a girl that was called Teresa Green.
Yeah, well, we had a girl. I got you one. This one. We had a girl whose literally her name was Ophelia Bowles. Bowles, but it was Ophelia Bowles. I was like, what? We had another kid. I'm not kidding.
Thank you, Mr.
His parents named him Richard Head.
Yeah,
I was like, he's like, my parents had a sense of humor. I'm like, all right, dickhead.
Yeah, I once went into a building behind a bloke called James Kirk.
Oh, there was a girl that lived around our direction that got pregnant whenever she was like 16, and she called her child Tuesday Sophia. Because that's really going to fucking help the child. Do you know what? There should be somebody working at the registration office, checking out all these names. Jim, fine. Anne, fine. Elizabeth, fine. Robert, fine. Tuesday, Sophia, hold everything. Hold everything. Get social services in. Take that child the fuck somewhere else. Because see if you can't give your child a fucking sensible name, what chance has it got?
Phil McCracken.
Phil McCracken.
Yeah.
Oh, I work with a fellow called Paul Ennis. And so, see, whenever you're putting names down, the surname first. His is P. Ennis. Yes, it just says penis.
What about Mo Lester? My son came home and told me that he and a bunch of other guys got in trouble in school, and this is when he was in early high school, and they had to do an assignment. And they had to create like a place. It was like you had to create a place and then create an economy, create the jobs and all that. And it was called Penn Island. They called it Penn Island. Yeah. And they nearly got suspended.
Yep.
Because it was penis land.
Penis land.
They did it it was an old one, but they did it and they got away with it until this one teacher goes, "Oh, come on, this is as old as it gets." And so they're all like, "I had no idea that's what we're doing."
The old ones are the best ones.
Mm-hmm. Gerald Fitzpatrick and Patrick Fitzgerald, two gay Irishmen.
Yep.
Oh, crap. Oh. That's funny.
Oh, there was a building site in London. Typical building site in London. They've got Scotch people. They've got Irish people. They've got Scotch, Irish, Welsh, English, black people, all this here. Well, then this new black guy arrives on the site, and at the end of the week, he says the foreman, "Those people are all taking the piss out of me because I'm black."
Yeah.
He says, "Who is?" And he says, him, and him. So he goes in. There's a Scotchman, there's an Irishman, there's a Scouser, and he pulls them all in. And he goes, "Mick, Mac, Parry, Whack, leave that wog alone."
Guy named Mike Roch.
Yeah.
Mike Roch.
Oh, there's the other thing. I had Scotland in my quad. I'd done a bet. There's a whole £2 landing right on this. Only ever bet during the World Cup. Pick like 4 teams, put £2 on it. If it wins, I'll put it on. And the Swiss fucking drew with Qatar, and it's scuttled already. But there you go. But yeah, Scotland game, I've got that ready to record. Here, what's it like in America? Well, the World Cup are people excited about it?
No, not really.
No.
Soccer's being honest. Okay, I like watching some pro soccer games because it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have a team that I like, nothing like that. Yeah. And I'm pretty typical. There are a lot of Americans that do. We have a lot of people. Okay, there's a lot of Americans that do love what soccer. You call it football, but but there's a lot of people that do. But nobody that I'm, associated with. They just don't, because we have like football.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah. American football, baseball, basketball. They're all your big sports. Hockey. And
you're aware of the England
and a lot of track and field.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, 42. You're aware of the England football chants. The England fans of any team, their chants are legendary. You've not even looked into this. So apparently, look out for this, people. At the World Cup this year, the England chant, the main one will be "Keir Starmer is a wanker."
Yep.
So
he is.
Much along the lines of, what was the Biden one? What was the Biden one? They were all chatting at the
let's go Biden.
Yeah, fuck Joe Biden, wasn't it? Yeah, it'll be along similar lines to that at the England game. Apparently, I'm looking forward to it. I might watch.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy shit going on.
Yeah, I'm about to find you a little bit of a chant. 1 second. I'll get
I can't understand. Can you understand? Something wrong with your mic.
Yeah, you're breaking up 42.
Hold on. Right.
There you are.
There you go.
Let's get this.
You're back.
Right. Okay. Right. Northern Ireland's favourite chant at the football. Present on right. Share screen. Share screen. StreamYard. At the stage. This is pretty much our favourite one.
Nice.
Yep.
It took me a while to realize what they were saying.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get it to start with. But
Yeah.
being from Lincolnshire,
The RAF from Ulster shot them down.
The 10, it goes 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. No German bombers.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking class. Yeah. If you're ever in Northern Ireland, when Northern Ireland are playing an away football match, get yourself in the Lavery's Tavern, and it's a fucking brilliant night.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, it's a party every time we play. Emma G and I have went to every home match for about the last 4 years.
Cool.
6 years even. It's good crack.
Well, when our local teams are in championships or even in run-ups, you go out to the bars, it's the same way.
Yeah.
Completely packed, the songs, the shouting. It's just awesome.
Soccer thugs. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh. Our other chant that we're getting a bit of shit for this, but with a tendency of singing, you can shove your Palestine up your hole. You can shove your Palestine right up your hole.
Look into English football chants, Rich. You'll be impressed. As much as you think we're polite and you're crass, it's the other way around.
Oh, yeah. We know this. We just don't say anything. You know?
Yeah. The other thing is, see, for years and years and years, we used to have sort of a rule. If you were at the pub or at an away match, you could put the no surrender into the 3 silent bars in the national anthem. But it wasn't done inside the stadium because the Irish FA wanted a more neutral environment that was more inviting to Catholics and everybody in the thing, and no surrenders. But then they tried to move us out of Windsor Park up to Casement Park, which is on the Falls Road. Nobody wants us there. We don't want to be there. But it was a political thing. They were trying to neutralize it. So they are shocked they're shocked. I'm telling you that whenever the national anthem's sung in Northern Ireland games, it now goes, "God save our gracious King, long live our noble King, God save the King, no surrender, send us victor." Yes, yeah, they're surprised that happened. So there you go.
That's
but
funny.
Yeah, Northern Ireland are the Northern Ireland football team is mixed between Protestant and Catholics, but the supporters are all Unionists, loyalists. The Catholics support Ireland because obviously that's who they identify with. And to be perfectly clear, I have no issue with them supporting Ireland. That's what they want to do. That's fine. The brings us back to what we were saying earlier. There's a reckoning coming in Ireland, because there's a very big gap between what a hell of a lot of the Irish people want and what the Irish politicians want, and I think that the Irish nationalists are going to lose a hell of a lot of support because of their stance on migrants.
Yeah, I mean, I always call it the beach ball effect. Did you ever hear me explain that? The beach ball effect is with tyranny. You take a big beach ball and you try to push it under the water. If you're in a pool or you're in the ocean, you try to push it underwater. And what do you get? You get that resistance all the time. And it takes some effort to keep it under the water. Well, the government is the pressure pushing underwater, and the people are the ones that are pushing back. Now, eventually, what happens is the government or the person pushing it down doesn't have unlimited energy.
Yep.
And eventually they have to give, and the ball pops right up. And it's at those times when you see real change. Now, sometimes the ball can be held under for a very long time, but there's always going to be change because the people, as long as they keep that pressure up. So that's the beach ball.
Sometimes it comes right out of the water, doesn't it?
Yep.
Flying right up into the air.
Yep.
Yep.
And be careful because it's going to fucking land on something.
Yeah.
Don't be underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Trump's in now. So the only protests we get are from the lib nuts that don't like him trying to make America great again.
Do you think the likes of J.D. Vance is going to carry the torch?
Well, there's a lot of talk about that. A lot of people want Marco Rubio. I would like to see a Vance Rubio ticket, get 8 years of Vance and then 8 years of Rubio. That's what I would love to see. Don't know if that's going to happen because a lot can happen in that amount of time.
You'll be lucky. Right?
So yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. But I mean, look at our Democrats today. They've got no message other than we're going to get Trump. Yeah, I mean, they're literally saying on day one they're going to impeach him and remove him from office on day one.
It's 10 years now.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get Trump, and you're sitting there going, "Wait a minute, what did he actually do?" Well, he shut down all these programs. Yeah, because he's trying to get rid of the fraud. You know, they're stuck with like tens of billions of dollars in fraud.
Yep.
I don't know about that, Louis, because I think the globalists and the libnuts are going to come down on him because technically he can't run for president, Rubio. He can't because he was never legally a citizen when he came here, when he was born here. Neither of his parents were citizens or even green card holders. They had no permanent residency status. And according to what he's fighting for now in the 14th Amendment, getting rid of the anchor baby clause could actually disqualify him. It depends on how the Supreme Court actually ruled on Trump's case. Well, and so he may not be eligible.
Surely if they do away with the anchor baby rules and laws, that's going to be from the day that law is enacted and not.
Yeah, they will probably do it that way, but you know that it's true. You know that the left is going to make an issue of it. See, I was never a part of the whole birther thing for Obama because his mother was a U.S. citizen. She came out of Delaware. She was a U.S. citizen. I do believe he was born in Kenya because his Nana Sarah, his grandmother on his father's side, said so to reporters. We were so proud when he was born in my living room, and the campaign said, "Shut the fuck up," and they told, do not do any more interviews with anybody, or we'll cut you off. But he was a citizen because his mother was a citizen, so he was, and I was never in the birther thing. Neither was Trump, but they claim he was the birther. No, it was Bill and Hillary Clinton that started the birther movement, and then. What happened was Trump, before he got into politics, he was very popular because he was the brand, right? And out of New York, right? The magnet, right? The real estate magnet. Well, he was like on Monday, he would be on Fox and Friends, right? On Tuesday, he'd be on CBS. On Wednesday, he'd be on another. He just, every morning, all these people want him. They would throw situations at him and say, "What do you think?" And everybody listened, right? So they asked him at the time, what do you think about Barack Obama's birth certificate? They won't show it and all that. And all he said was, well, I don't know why he just doesn't come out and like release it and shut them all the hell up. And because he said that, he's actually supporting Obama with that statement.
Yep.
Right. So with saying that, they're also, he was the birther guy. No, it was your Clinton team that did that. It was them. Yeah, Obama was born in New York City based on that video from Dr. No. That's not what Valentine said. Valentine, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories like that, but there was a really good guy, Dr. Valentine, Phil Valentine was his name. And he's a black guy and he was a liberal and, Democrat and all, hated Barack Obama. He did like a 3-hour video on all the things about Barack Obama. One of them was he said that they believe and they have evidence that Obama was Malcolm X's kid, his illegitimate kid. And there is literally a photograph after the Democrats firebombed his house, right? And and the house didn't look like it burned down to the ground, but you saw all the furniture outside the front and all that. And it was at twilight, and a picture was taken of the four corners of the neighborhood, like the street corner 4-2A. And you see the house, but over here on the left, on a corner, you saw a white woman holding a baby, a black baby. And so they believe that, and he looks like Malcolm X. So they said that Malcolm went up to his confidant, his best friend, all that shit. And he said, because he knew they were trying to kill him. He knew people were trying to kill him, and he felt he was going to die soon. And so he said, "I want you to take my son." And no one ever talked about him having this son, right? But he said, "I want you to take my son and take him to Indonesia." And that's where they went. And he went to a madrasa school for like 3 years. You know what a madrasa is, right?
Yeah.
That's those Islamic, hate the infidels, kill the infidels, all that shit. Well, he went there, and when people started yelling at the press during the 2009 election cycle, and they said, "Why don't you go and find out?" He was in a madrasa. He is a Muslim. He became a Christian just so he could run for office. And so they went to the school, and the school said, no, we're not a madrasa. We're a regular curriculum school. And they came back and, we're regular. And they're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ. Did you ever ask them, was this a madrasa when Barack Obama went?" And the answer is yes.
Yeah, but what I can see what your school is now, but please tell me your history.
I know.
When was it founded?
The press didn't want that. It was like the same press, dude. Like when John Kerry was running, okay, there was in Vietnam, the North Vietnamese, they had a Vietnam War memorial, right? It was a building and had all the stuff in there, all that cool stuff from the commies, right? And so there is a plaque on the wall with John Kerry's picture, and basically saying, "Hero of the Revolution, and thank you for all you did for us." John Kerry, who's running for president at the time, right? And so they went up there to try, like the Kerry campaign found out that the press was flying to Vietnam and trying to get it. And so the campaign contacted the museum and said, take it down now. And they were like, "Fuck you. We're pretty proud of it. Thanks, dude." So it got reported. And that's one of the reasons why that and the Swift Boaters, who I donated to, and I read their book, that's why he didn't win, because he's an idiot. And he was very anti-American most of his life. He thought he was going to be the next JFK. He literally said that in a video once when he was heading out to Vietnam. They're grooming me to be the next JFK. Yeah, real jackass.
Oh, here's one for you. Who was the rapper that got all the shit about having all the crazy parties?
Oh, Diddy? Yeah, P. Diddy?
P. Diddy, right.
Yeah. Well, they all have crazy parties in America,
right.
the rappers.
Do you think there's a possibility that all came out about his crazy parties because the Martin Luther King files are being released?
I don't know if that's the reason, but MLK was a whore.
Oh yeah.
And I'll say it right here. He was a whore, and I say more power to him. It's what he did. But he came across also. He was a hypocrite because he came across as a man of God, but he cheated on his wife all the time.
The fact that he was shagging everything that moved.
Oh yeah, when he went home, the goddamn fish stopped swimming. In the tank. I mean, he would bang anything that moved, man.
Yeah. Right. So that's going to come out in the files. Do you think there's a possibility that the P. Diddy thing was put out so that whenever it does eventually come out via the files, then go, well, he wasn't as bad as P. Diddy?
It's going to be 75 years before those files get released. I'm going to tell you that right now. And let me say this for the fact checkers. Okay. I still think MLK was a great man for what he did, for what he tried to do with the the passive movement. Don't get violent.
Yeah. Oh,
right. Yeah. Like Gandhi, right? He tried to do it like Gandhi. Gandhi was an asshole too, but he tried to do it like Gandhi. And he said, peaceful protests, all that, no matter what they do, and you know what? Because in America, it actually worked because people would pay attention. Poor fish. Because they would eyes are green. Because people actually paid attention to that and said, wow, these guys, they're allowing themselves to get hit, and they're not fighting back because they're trying to be peaceful to protest. So let's listen to them finally. So I had much respect for him, even though he was a communist.
Look, those people actually practiced getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually trained for it. Now, I might not agree with everything that they wanted.
I get it. Me
but
too. I didn't agree with
I do agree with I do agree with how they went about it. If you want to study how to get change, that's a really good thing to change.
All those movements here, those 40, they're all a bunch of shite. Because think about this. You know who the Reverend Jackson is, right?
Fuck.
Jesse Jackson. Okay. Do you know how he got his claim to fame? He was a driver for MLK that night. Okay. He was the driver. He wasn't like hired as he was the driver that night.
Yeah.
And what happened was, if you wanted to be in his inner circle, MLK said, you have to get your divinity license. You have to pass divinity school because we're not messing around here. If you want to be in the inner circle, and Jesse went to divinity school, but then he dropped out. He didn't want to do it because he had a lot of grifting to do. Right. And so MLK was pissed at him and excluded him from the inner circle because he found out that he stopped. And so the night that MLK was murdered, the night before, that night, as they were going to their rooms at that hotel, he stopped them and he said, come by for dinner tonight. And that was his way of telling Jesse, you've suffered enough. We're going to discuss it. You're going to get back into divinity school. So that day, MLK gets shot up on the veranda, and Jesse Jackson was the first one to him. And what did he do? He literally, because people witnessed this, he reached down and hugged him and went like this to get more blood all over his own shirt. And then he got up, and as he went out, and the press was there and the police were there, he made sure I was with him when it happened, and just to try to give himself sensationalism, right? And then he went off on his own when MLK was dead, because the movement was dead, because it was behind one great man, okay? And he created his Rainbow Coalition, that whatever the hell he called it, the whatever Rainbow something Rainbow Coalition, and it was all Saul Alinsky style scamming. and they made millions of dollars, and no one said a thing because he was the Reverend Jackson. That's why.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people have been suckered in by the Reverend Jackson without realizing that the only person Jackson is trying to help is fucking the Reverend Jackson. That's the only thing he's any interest in whatsoever. I would also say I would be curious as to who. One second.
Well, Malcolm X had some words about liberalism.
Oh, yeah. Malcolm X did. But I would be very curious. Did anybody that ever got involved with the Reverend Jesse Jackson to fight their racism claim, did it ever improve their lot?
No.
I'm pretty sure that it only ever improved Jackson's lot.
Basically, what Jackson would do, it was push Rainbow Coalition. That's what it was. What he would do is he would go out to a company and he would say, he'd have a meeting with the president of the company. He'd say, you do not have enough black people in management positions in this country, in this company. And he said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Push Rainbow Coalition people out here by 1,000 of them, and we're going to protest every day until you tell us that you're going to have programs to get black people in those positions. And as he's walking out the door, he would turn around and go, well, we have an alternative, though.
Yeah.
We take the money. So he was, that's called extortion. He was trying to say to them, we need your money.
Well,
we're going to call you a bunch of racists.
Okay. See the likes of Stonewall, and they run programs for companies to reduce discrimination against gay people. They don't give a fuck whether or not the program actually works. The only thing they're interested in is have they paid Stonewall for running that program.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
While I'm on the subject, see all these days of transgender visibility, the day of migrant visibility, the day of... Right. Do you know how they work? The government will have an event for that day. And at that event, they will bring speakers from the different pressure groups. I don't know what it is in America, but in the UK, it's currently sitting somewhere between £500 and £600 for a speaker's fee. So then they bring 2-3 speakers in, get £1,500, and the day goes off and there's no change to anything, but that pressure group has got money. You know, it's how they transfer. It's a method for them to transfer government money into the hands.
Well, we have NGOs. We have NGOs over here, the non-governmental organizations. Oh, you wouldn't believe the freaking scams that are going on with them.
Yeah.
And most of them were, it was USAID. You remember that? USAID?
Yeah.
Well, USAID was the organization that was funneling money to NGOs that were then handing it out to globalist organizations who were trying to take down America. So my freaking tax dollars were going to these groups to try to take down my way of life. What the fuck? And then you have these jackasses that say, well, the federal government, you know, there's like 3,000 or 300,000 people are gone. Yeah, because it was fraud, number one. And these people, they weren't working. They were catching paychecks, but they weren't working. And then when they say all the money and all these programs for the poor, for illegals, Trump got rid of the illegals on those rolls. Yeah, Soros is evil. He's a piece of shit, but he's on his last breath. The devil said, you know what? We did enough for you. Just go away.
It beggars belief. The level of corruption is off the chart.
It is. And you know what? Prior to Doge coming out with Elon, prior to that, we had no idea the level of fraud. And you know who built that whole system? Barack Hussein Benito Milhouse Obama. Okay, he's the motherfucker that did it, because what he did was he created the financial pipelines so that they could say, like, they would go to, like, say, Minnesota, and they would say, look, we're going to create a financial pipeline that if you create a program, we will funnel the money to you, because why not, right? And here, what he did was he did that in the beginning because he wanted to get votes to be reelected. Okay, because what happens? You pump $10 billion into a state. The state takes it, or the NGOs take it, or both, right? Half and half, right? And so what happens? They commit the fraud so that the people can create these phony, what was it? The Leering Center. Remember the kids' daycare centers, and no kids are in there. Well, all these people are making bank off of that, right? So if you get a guy that made like $1 million off that, he has a quality Leering Center, right? Doesn't know how to spell on the sign. Yeah, but you have that. He's got a lot of money in order to get groups together to say, you got to vote for these Democrats or else all our money's going away. Right. And they got angry over that shit. They literally had to be told, don't protest. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're going to protest the money going away? You're a fraud. Right. And so now all these blue states, they're finding that it's just billions upon billions of dollars, and that alone would save us tons of money. Taxes should go down. That's how Trump gave the tax cuts, the really good tax cuts that we got, because he said, you know what? And you know what he's saying too? He was saying with the money that we got in the tariffs, that he thought that they were going to send checks out to Americans. He thought about it. And I think somebody told him you can't do it. But he wanted to give money back to the American people.
Yeah.
But they wanted to needs test that shit. If you're a certain ethnic group, you're going to get more than other ethnic groups, because that's what the Biden administration did.
Do you know what? See for apparently the people on the right being the racists.
Yeah.
The people on the left seem to be a hell of a lot more interested in what fucking religion, color, skin, and gender you are. You know what I mean? The people on the right generally don't really give a fuck, and they're willing to judge a person as a person.
Right.
The people on the left, they're very interested in what you are. So who the fuck is the real racist?
Oh, exactly. Oh, dude, everybody knows that. Yeah. I have such a good time. You guys might want to look into this if you got a few hours that you just want to have just good, bright fun. Go on Facebook and join a liberal group. Just join it. And then you will get in your feed the little stupid memes that they put up, and you will have a freaking field day with these people. I every day when I go, you know what? I'm kind of pissed right now. How am I going to laugh? Oh yeah, it's like you could spend hours, and they argue with you. They are all, like, almost every one of the members in that group could be up for the award for the Dunning-Kruger effect of the year. And they all could, because they're not Mensa Club material, trust me. And I just have so much fun beating the shit out of them. Like, for example, they talked about socialism, right? And I said, they're fascists. I'm sorry. They talked about, you fucking MAGA turds are fascists. I said, you dumb fuck. I write back, you don't even know what fascism is. I said, fascism was, and always will be a left-wing ideology. You're like, he's a fucking idiot. I'm like, all right. So, so they're saying, well, Hitler and Mussolini. I was like, yeah, and Hitler was a fascist. Well, do you know that the word socialist is in the name Nazi? Do you understand that, you jackass? Yep. I said, did you know that Mussolini was the most famous Marxist of his day in Europe? Did you know that, you jackass? And so I started going down. I said, you guys don't even know who invented fascism, because I did a video on it. It was pretty good, right? So I'm like, you guys don't even know. You call right wingers fascists, but you sound like the south end of a northbound horse. I said, so I wrote. I said, look, let me educate. I said, let me. I say that all. Yeah, you can steal it. I say, like, I was typing there, and I said, let me educate you, and I put the link into the video. So these assholes don't even realize, because the same picture on my Facebook is the same picture on the video, right? I use, branding and all that, right? Yep. And then they don't realize it's me talking, right? So the guy was always, so you think you got a YouTube video? I'm like, no, douchebag. It's my video. I did the research, and I presented it in a video, and you're a moron. But I've been having so much fun. You ought to try it. because I don't care how least you know about politics. The left are just they're stupid. They're stupid people.
The level of stupid is off the chart.
It really is, especially today, because they'll pass anybody out of high school in the United States.
Okay, Rich, I've got a bit of information for you.
Sure.
You were saying that your video got blocked on YouTube?
On Facebook.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
The same Facebook that you're using, the same profile to argue with the libtards?
Yeah.
Do you know why that got blocked?
Well, they gave me the reasons. But why?
No, I'll tell you why. Because all the fuckers you're arguing with reported it.
I don't know about that. They basically, they gave me the reason. Normally, they'll say a lot of people complain. They'll normally do that. But what they did, and they removed they put me up for a strike, like a hit, and they were going to suspend me for like 30 days. But then they actually see Facebook in the past. You would say, you can review. I want to review, and you give your reason, and you hit it, and seconds later, we have studied your response in the review, and we've determined that you're a fuckhead. We're going to keep it on and screw you, right? But this time, during it, they said that that the offense was removed, because I told them, I said, I'm just reading a news article, and they removed it, but they didn't bring back the stream because they had removed it, so they couldn't bring it back. Yeah, but I didn't get hit with it.
Yeah,
now you know who the best is for that, and I'm not saying it because we're on the platform, YouTube, because YouTube, if you like every single live stream I do, they hit me. I get a hit for copyright infringement, every single one, because I'll play a video of a news piece, and some song is in the background.
Yeah,
and I don't even remember like why. I don't remember. So it's in there. And before they used to say this video cannot be monetized because of a copyright hit, right? And you're like, oh wow, what do I do? And before they're like, no, you just can't be. Well, now they built tools where at first they said they built tools where you could remove that part of the video. So now you got a missing part in your video where the friggin' song is. Now what they do, they're getting better. So now what they do is they say, do you want to just remove the song but have all the other noises and videos still there? I'm like, fuck yeah. So I just do that, and it does it, and it removes the monetization problem. So then I can monetize it again. So I think we might, knock on wood, we might be beyond the days where the conservatives are going to be screwed off the platform right away, because they are giving you away, especially if they're making money off of you. Because that's what they want to do. They just want people to watch videos, right? And they want you to bring people into the platform. So if they're making money off you because you're making money, right? They're making ways so that you can continue to make money. Because I think the accountants got together and said, you know what, this guy had 800,000 subs, and you were making a boatload of money, and you kicked him off because he called somebody the N-word. Like pull your head out of your ass, guys. And so now they're coming up with tools, which I congratulate them for it. They're coming up with tools to help you get out of that situation. Because 9 out of 10 times, a guy like me, I'm not saying, yeah, I'm going to really violate this music shit, And here's a perfect one. I played a video called "The Fall of the Crown," right? It's one of my videos, and I played it on my stream last week. And they came out and said, you got hit with a copyright content. You have to explain to us why we should drop this. And I wrote to them, I said, well, I own the fucking song. And I said, here's my DistroKid, all the numbers and the license for it. It's mine. Right. And so what they did is they wrote back. This is how freaking crazy the system is. Right. They wrote back and said they lifted my suspension. Right. I was going to get suspended, right? Like a strike. So they lifted that. But what they did is they said, you can't monetize it because all the money you make on this will go directly to the content ID holder. And I'm like, that's me. You dumbasses. It's me. So I'll be paying myself, and you're just going to be costing you a lot of money to go through all those systems and get it right. I'm the content ID holder, and I told you that, and you agreed because I proved it, but you're still going to let all the monetization go to the content ID person. And then DistroKid has to pay me, like Spotify and all that, because I got them on all the things. But that's crazy, isn't it?
It's absolutely nuts.
It's the system you got to go through. I think this is the longest stream you've done since I've known you.
I used to do streams this length all the time.
Oh, yeah?
And then I cut it down to pretty much 2 hours.
I did an 8-hour one once. I did an 8-hour stream once.
I cut it down to pretty much 2 hours. However, this stream is very different from my normal streams because for a start, going through the song took a hell of a lot of time and blah, blah, blah. And I'm having a really good conversation.
Yeah, it's fun tonight. Tonight was a lot of fun.
You know, which we didn't have for the first part because it was fucking content heavy, which is why I've let it go. But what I will say is I do want to start wrapping it up because it's now 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Yeah, it's about 9 o'clock here.
At
night. Yeah, I know it's late there.
I do want to start wrapping it up. 110 minutes.
Oh, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. I'll sit with Dangerfield.
Yep.
It's no problem. I can sit here for 4 hours and say nothing. Try me.
Do you go on Dangerfield streams, Pakka?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, cool. I like the guy, but I don't have time to watch a lot of streams. I particularly like this one because I love all you guys because you guys also come into my streams.
Well, there's serious danger that Dangerfield is going to stream tomorrow or later on today, sometime within the next 10 hours.
All right, cool.
Yep. Pakka is the professional co-host.
If you need someone to sit there and say nothing, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Well, the other thing,
that's brilliant.
The thing about Pakka as a co-host that is absolutely great is see whenever you have creators on, they tend to have something to say and they want to get it out, and whereas with Pakka that doesn't happen. He just sits there and then chips in at very, very well timed moments. It's fucking brilliant.
Chris said, "I'm like Francis Forrester, but better." I say nothing better than Francis Forrester.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. Have we anything that we need to talk about before we wrap this up? Is there anything you think's been left with like an open end or anything?
No. For tonight, no. We put the commies in their place. We showed a great video.
Yeah.
We talked about the Muslims being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We discussed that Islam is not really a religion. Yeah. Enough to get us banned, but you know. Hey.
Yeah, well. It is what it is. Rich, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for that song. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I do too. I love the video, man.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with how it all came out and came together.
Yeah, it's a good project, man.
Yeah, it is a bit. I'm going to say it's about 95%. There's a couple of bits that I do want to tidy up a little bit, but it's basically there. I'm really, really pleased with it, and I've been playing it all the fucking time.
Yeah. Isaac Green said it was a great live stream. You guys are fun to watch. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Every Saturday night,
Charlie. Nice.
Every Saturday night, it's pretty similar. We'll talk about history, we'll talk about culture, we'll talk about tradition, and we try to fit that into what's going on today and give it some context. What I will say to everybody is, if you're ever trying to find out what's happening anywhere, if you can find out how you got to where we are by going through the history, you're going to understand it a lot better.
Yeah.
And your history's on a continuum. And this battle we have for a proper Western way of life, it's intergenerational. You're going to be handing it to your children. What I can tell you from growing up in Northern Ireland is my grandfather, who's in the very start of this video. He's in the outro. He's in the crowd outside Belfast City Hall waiting to sign the Ulster Covenant. At 16 years old, joined the UVF underage, went to the Somme. I'm in exactly the same place now as he was, and he's in exactly the same place, he was in exactly the same place as his grandfather was, and he's in the same place as his grandfather was, fighting for a proper way of life. You're going to be handing it down. So what you do to maintain that, make it fun, make it cultural, and enjoy it.
Yep.
Would be my big takeaway.
Cool.
And with that,
can I say something?
Yeah, please do.
Guys, if you haven't subbed me already, sub my channel. If you want great American political analysis, I think we do a good job over there, and we would love to have you. We do videos during the week, and we do live streams every Friday at 5:30 Eastern time, which would be what, 11?
Oh, 1
or 6. I'm sorry, we do it at 6, which would be like 11 for you guys.
Yep. One momento, Rich. Hold on. Yep. Rich, put something in the chat, please.
What do you want?
Anything. It's just as your name comes up, they make you a mod.
Oh, type anything?
Yeah,
right.
Type anything.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Right, cool. 1 second. John.
What's up, Billy? Good to see you.
Add as moderator, standard moderator, save.
Cool.
Right. Cool. You're now a mod, which means that you can post your link.
Cool. Awesome. Let me get it out there.
Yep.
I think that would be it. Hang on, let me test it before I put it there. Can you imagine I put something else out?
Yep.
And you guys would be like, what in the hell? Here we go. All right, cool. Thank you. There you go, guys. Thank you.
There you go. Anybody that's not already subscribed, go subscribe. This content is excellent. Also, there is a website that has all the information, all the political stuff going back for quite a while.
rpwmedia.com. Thank you.
Yep. Honestly, if you've enjoyed tonight, you want to be signed up to that.
You can look for that anywhere. Yeah. Look for that anywhere. RPW Media, just that symbol RPW Media.
Billy, no, we're not getting there.
Thanks, Colin.
Yep.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep, right. Now, Mr. Pakka, any last words?
No, not really. Thanks for having us. Very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming along, Mr. Pakka.
Thank you for the lesson.
Yep. You're very welcome. Rich, yourself, any last words?
No, I think I already said them. I think I broke protocol and said them before you offered me to say them. I apologize for that.
All right. You're
That's
good.
An American thing. We're pretty obnoxious that way, so I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We're all friends.
I want to say to you, thank you for bringing me on tonight, and I always have a blast with you guys. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for doing the video to that song and liking the song. As a matter of fact, it was great.
And stay behind after, because I need to figure out how to get you the fed. I have an idea about how it's going to work, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll do it. I can stick around for a little while. Yeah, I'm good.
I will. Yep. With that, I'm going to play the outro, the new outro, composed by Mr. Rich from RPW Media, and I will put your comments up on the stage. And here we go. Last play of this for the evening.
dirt, name carved in a stone you can't move. 42 wears the north wind like a tattoo. Green field trapped in a gray sky, saw the rain still stuck in his throat. Far from the line on the map, he carries that border like a coat. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless, words like broken glass in the heather. Tongue tastes blood and black tea. He writes the river that cut his town. He writes walls only he can see. Vision of Ulster's flicker over rusted wire and ruin. He plants a flag in this dead valley and calls it home by singing. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42. Is it exile if the land moves with you? Is it freedom if the past still stares straight through? He laughs like a funeral, he prays like a fight, writes Ulster in the sand, lets the wind decide the right. At 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42. 42. 42. 42.
Okay, everybody. Pakka has been Pakka.
I didn't think I was talking. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't think I was talking. I was like mouthing it, but I didn't think I was
you were mouthing it. It was coming out through your mic. It was funny as fuck. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Pakka's been Pakka. Rich has been Rich. I have been 42. And you lot in the chat have, as always, been fucking amazing. Thank you. Good night. God bless. See you all next week. I'm out of here. Goodbye.